you were signed in twice there. Let me get you off of there first. I had you in twice. Y'all stand by for a second. Let me move this one off of here for a second before we get to going. Okay. All right, now here we go. All right, hello everyone. I'm Paul Wizard. I want to welcome y'all out to Barbershop Talk. Ooh, shit. It's about to get to the nitty gritty up in here. I already feel it because I see somebody got the bright lights back over in there looking like God. So we're going to make it do what it do. So I'm going to do my intro. Then we're going to meet all our guests. And then we're going to dive right into it. So, hey, y'all, those of you out there watching now, whether you catching the live or you catch the replay, hey, by all means, go get your popcorn ready. Go to the restroom. Sit on down, because if you leave, I guarantee you're going to miss something. And you're going to have to go back and rewatch that shit. But we live right now. We about to get it. Hello, everyone. I am Paul Wizzo. You like to subscribe to Wizzo Talk. The link is in the description or strolling right there across the bottom of the screen. Just make sure you hit that notification bell because I post according to my guest availability rather than on a fixed schedule. And by all means, whatever you do, remember, it's absolutely free, 100% free to like, share, and subscribe. So if you're watching this on Facebook right now, by all means, go ahead and hit that share button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And we appreciate you wholeheartedly on that. Let me add this other guy back right here in just a second. And if you're watching from Facebook, also, please, by all means, click that link in the description and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And once again, make sure you hit that notification bell because I'll post according to my guest availability rather than on a fixed schedule. We're going to meet our guests, and then we're going to go ahead and get this podcast jumping and Barbershop Talk. And let me come up to 7. 7, what you got?
Yo, this your boy 7 Points of Bliss, a.k.a. Pomegranate Samurai, and it's an honor to be here. And you guys could check me out under After Real Truth, all one word, under any major social platform, or you can check me out on Spotify under Cosmic Currency 777. And this is definitely going to be a spicy one.
Most definitely. Come on with it, Rico.
Hey, what's going on, man? I want to apologize for my absence. I've been missing it. All the fellas love the camaraderie, and I'm back. I could be followed on at Riding with Rico on YouTube or TikTok. And y'all get ready. It's gonna be hot tonight.
Already, that's what's up. That's what's up. Already, Mr. Mike, what you got there for us?
Hey, I'm Mike. I don't have no sight. I'm just here checking in and seeing how everything goes from here, man.
All right,
I'm new to this, so I'm gonna try to jump in and put some kind of sauce in this and make sure everything is nice and spicy, fellas. All right.
That's what's up. We love some spice up here on Wizzo Talk like a motherfucker. Poke Dog, what you got for us?
Yeah, already. Appreciate you having me on. As Rico said, I love being here. It's always good to sharpen steel with steel. Big Poke Dog, just as you said it, you can see it on any social platform. That'll be me if you look it up just like that. As always, I do try to have a word for the day. Today, the word is nugatory. That's Nugatory, nugatory. Now, what this basically means is something in the category of meaningless, nonsense, doesn't matter at the end of the day. For instance, the hoopla, all of the hubbub, all of the debacle that's going on with Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. All of it is nugatory. It affects us in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Most of the people who are upset about behind Klay or upset about this Megan Thee Stallion saying, "Oh yeah, that's what she deserves," none of y'all are affected by that. Meaning it's all nugatory. That's the word of the day.
Nugatory. All right, that's what's up. Appreciate that. Terrence, you there? You there? Terrence, mic check. Well, shit. I may have lost him. I don't know. So let's go over to Jason. What you got, Jason?
Same old thing, Jason. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. I got a delay on the video, so I'm not sure what's going on. But anyway, just Jason, man. You can always find me on Wizzo Talk 8972. I just come over here and give my opinions and share some facts when I know them. And I'm looking forward to the night. It seems like everybody a little fired up. I like that.
All right. Hey, before I go to Terrence and do your intro, hold up, Terrence. Jason, you sounded like one of them dang gone rappers that be giving out their phone number and shit. You said 8972 and shit, 778-9311. What the fuck is that? Yeah, you doing?
Gotta get it right, man. You gotta get the site right.
All right, that's what's up. All right, let's meet our last guest, and then we're gonna get this thing jumping. Terrence, come on with that intro.
Hey man, it's Terrence. I'm the newcomer. I done heard about you. It's Country Boy Cooking, man, on all platforms. Hey man, I'm here for all the smoke, man. I heard big things about you. I'm here for it. The uncut part.
All right. The country boy cooking shit. So you put some shit in that skillet, then, huh?
Uh,
We didn't lost him, so let me go and go to it.
you're
He'll
gonna
be
have to
back.
cook up some bandwidth here in a minute.
Yeah. Hey guys, y'all already know if I lose you again, y'all keep that shit rolling. I'll jump back in because we had a little bit of bad weather. But so just to recap, just a little bit on the adult conversation between men and women, we talked a little bit about excuse me, about if your son or daughter wanted to ask you, say they want to experience the same sex. We also talked about how we wouldn't open the door for a stud or wouldn't do this for a woman or wouldn't do that for a woman and so forth and so on. And I'm getting an echo from somewhere. It might be you, Terrence, I think. So you might have to just mute yourself till you get ready to talk because the echo just came on when you log back. But I think it's gone now. Okay. And so we talked a little bit about that right there. So with that being said, got one guy right here. Y'all hold up for a second. Let me get it. Let me bring him in. All right, PM, mic check.
Hey.
Hey, yo.
Oh, he lost him that quick.
Yeah. He's still there. I'm just trying to this
Okay.
damn thing. Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
Hey.
Oh boy. All
There
right,
he is.
PM, mic check. You got us?
mic check, yes, sir.
All right, hit us with that intro, and then I was just going over what I was about to get off to the first topic. So hit us with that intro.
Man, Bilal McKnight with the PM Lifestyle Podcast, man, here with the Barbershop Talk with the fellas. Glad to be a part of the set. So let's get this thing cracking.
All right, that's what's up. So I have to say this right quick before I get right back off into it. Now, PM and Jason been known with their voices to have the women throwing their panties up on the stage and shit. So them some of them smooth motherfuckers right there, y'all. So y'all, I'm just letting y'all know out there that's watching. And then just to touch on one other thing, I gotta call my boy 7 out. Y'all, Pokey and Jason, y'all see his background?
I seen him get right. I seen him get right. How many of them you read,
Very
bro?
studious.
Does it look like that? Your brain big with them books, huh?
Yeah, I gotta be like, y'all. Shit.
Okay. All right, y'all. So to finish up on the recap, like I say, when on adult conversation between men and women, when we had the women on, we talked about, if your son or daughter wanted to come up to you and told you they wanted to experience the same sex. We talked a little bit about what we would and wouldn't do for a woman. And Jason, like, if HR hired her for this damn job, she gonna do that shit. And I'm saying, like, I'm not gonna be doing nothing for a stud, because usually they have a dick like us, and they don't want to be done in a certain way, or how do you greet them or whatever. Anyway, so with that being said, I talked with my man Mike. I'm gonna put him out there just for a second, and Mike was like, he was fired up. Shit, he like, look, I want to get some of that. But the thing about it is, when we have barbershop talk, we never know what's coming up. So people ask me later, they'll say, hey, I want some of that. Well, I'm like, well, shit, I don't know what to tell you. So I'm just kicking in reverse. We're going to chop it up on this for a little bit because I want to give Mike a chance to say what he wanted to say when his wife was telling him to get out the background over there at the back. So I want to give him a chance. I'm going to throw him out there to the wolves. So, Mike, we running that shit back for you, baby. Come on with it.
All right, now I know I've heard y'all talk about it and everything, but my thing is, dyke, lesbian, or whatever she is, yes, you come to the workplace, whatever job you're applying for, that's your position to be able to do that job. If you are not able to do that job, you don't need to be in it. So the best thing to do is to find something that you're fit for. So, I understood a lot of the stuff some of these brothers were saying that day. I was kind of sitting in the background listening, fellas, and it was pretty deep, man. And after looking back at it, I think it was Jason. You were saying that if you at work, she doing the same job that you're doing, and she's struggling, you ain't gonna help her.
No,
Well, I
not at all.
understand that.
I
understand.
let me be clear. I'm not gonna do anything to help her any more than I would for any male or penis owner that also is on that job.
That part. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is something that I got to help a guy with. I'm not going beyond that with that woman.
Got you.
Right.
Got you. All right. But yeah, at the same, I served 20 years in the Army. I have female soldiers, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I watched them put their foot down and do their thing, man. And now I had one soldier. I don't think she ever looked at Sergeant Green and said, "Can you help me?" And when I say this girl was about 5 feet tall, 110 pounds, and she was pushing those head trucks, man. Right. She get up in that truck, put her pillow down there, and she was doing her thing. So I see that. But sometimes you got to look at a female and say, okay, she's struggling with this. If I'm struggling with it and she's struggling with it, then we need to come together and work together to figure out how to work that thing, whatever it is, whatever that job is that we're dealing with, because not everybody can do the same job equally. So,
but that's just you helping your fellow soldier, though, right?
Huh?
That's really just you helping your fellow soldier, though, right? It didn't really matter if it was a female, because if the dude was struggling, you would have helped him the same way.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because
but like bro said, if I gotta go above and beyond to keep helping you, you gotta go try and find you something else to do.
Yeah, that's true. But like I said, one of the things I've learned in the military and in the battlefield is that I'm not gonna put myself in the front of any soldier. When we go out there on that battlefield, I'm in the back. I want to see every soldier that's in front of me, because it's called trust.
Right.
And they can easily pick you off if they want to. But now, in today's society, when we look at things like this, I look at female soldiers who walk in, she look like she hardcore, and all of a sudden she struggled. I mean, not a female soldier, but a female come to a job and in construction, and she doing her thing. Hey, I ain't, she don't need my help for nothing. I'm fine with it, because I just saw a sister girl who's a firefighter, and firefighters, they got them hoes, they got to run up these steps and stuff. And when I looked at this sister, I was like, man, her training that she goes through is unbelievable.
Yeah, Mike, you say she was carrying hose?
How many exactly?
The fire hose, man. Come on now.
Okay. I got you. So
them big hoes.
I think Jason, you was finna say something, Jason.
Yeah, and I don't want to be. I want to be clear about what my point is. And expressing that what you saying, like you talk about the example you gave when you were in the military, and the woman is 5 foot and she was holding her own. You gave another example of a woman, like even your last example of a woman being a firefighter and carrying and doing all the things that the men do based on her training and her fortitude, right? She getting after it. These are not who I'm speaking of. These women are not going to ask me for help. Like you said, all these years, she never came to Sergeant Green, asked for no help. I'm with it. And that's my point, is that if you go sign your name on the same line I did to do the same job, then I need to do the same thing. And I'll flip it and give you the example of, if I sign my name on the line and say I'm going to be a nail tech or I'm going to be a hairstylist, but I got these big ass sausage fingers, right? I can't go to the hairstylist next to me every time I need to do a tight braid, a skinny bone braid or something like that, right? I got to carry my own weight. So if my fingers has got to do, they got to do what they got to do. And so them, just like I'm saying I wouldn't help, and it was kind of shocking for some of the people at home to hear me say that, the reality is there ain't none of these ladies gonna leave their booth and come over there and help me when they charging by the hour. My man PM is in that industry, right? you charging a certain amount per head or whatever, but to calculate your money and to be successful in that job, and I'm sure he can give you details on it because I consider him a very successful barber. You got to have your times down. You got to get that head in. You got to get that head out, and so you can go down to the minute how much you earn in a minute. If you're gonna charge $50 for a haircut and it take you 2 hours, you ain't making no money. But if you're gonna charge $50 for that haircut and it take you 30 minutes, and then I'm asking you every 10 minutes to help me with this braid or help me with that because I signed up to do essentially a pink job, a job that's for women, then they're not gonna help me either. That's the reality, man. And so, like I say, in particular, the women that you are describing, those examples that you gave, I'm applauding that. And that's my point. I'm applauding that. If you're going to carry your weight, I got you. If you just need me to help you with something simple, I got you. But I'm not giving you gentlemanly chivalry in the workplace. We equal. You got to carry your weight and I'm going to carry mine.
All right. Got you, anybody got any other comments? Seven? Oh, Rico?
Yeah. For me, I can tell I'm missing a lot of the conversation. So my reply is just based off what I've just heard. I can tell there's a lot going on that I don't know. But I would I'm kind of like Mike right there. For me, if a woman, I would be like this. It depends on the way the woman is at work, her attitude and all that. Does she ask, does she ask for help? Does she try hard to complete the task? Or if she has a bad attitude, is she lazy? That would dictate how much help that I would give to not just a woman, but a male as well. Yeah. If they're a lazy person, if they're not doing their job correctly, if I feel like they're not putting in that time and the work to get it done, no, I wouldn't give them any help. But if I could tell that they're trying, me being me, I would. I'm gonna put as much energy into that person, male or female, that I feel that they're putting into the job itself, into actually doing the job correctly. Whereas on Jason's side, I can agree with what he's saying as well, especially where Mike was talking about in the military, because in the military, it's all about equal opportunity. And you are treated and expected to do the exact same thing. So I feel like if a woman, and especially in today's world, where they say they want to be equal to the men, like we should let them learn what it's like to be a man and be held accountable equally as a man. So that's where I think.
Yeah, Rico, you are missing a lot. I just want to touch base on that. This is really not even our first topic, but I want to make sure I gave Mike a chance to kind of touch on the recap from that previous conversation right there. And if nobody else have any other comments, or if Mike wants to address something else, we're going to get off into our first.
Yo, can I say something?
Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm good. Appreciate just letting me get involved with this because, again, you get a clear understanding of everything when we talk about certain things. And right. I'm going to look forward to these topics that's coming up. I don't have one in mind right now, but it's coming up in my head right now.
Okay, well, you don't have to have one. I'm sure you have some comments on what's going to be said, but Seven wanted to say something. Then we're going to get in our first topic. What up, Seven?
Hey, so I just want to add that I respect everything all these gentlemen have said because they made very valid points. And the people definitely need to try equally. If you're going to be seen as an equal, you need to be doing as much as the next person is doing who considers themselves to be good at what they're doing. But I don't give a fuck about any of that because I'm gonna tell these bitches, since y'all always want to stick together, y'all help each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you go get another bitch to help you at a job if you struggling. All you hoes want to stick together, talk about mansplaining and all this other shit. Bitch, I'm not about to explain shit to you. I'm gonna let you struggle with some other hoes. And then I'm gonna sit back and watch you a whole struggle and I'm gonna laugh at you.
Damn, Seven. Always entertaining, baby.
Bitch, I wasn't expecting that one.
All right, Seven.
Yeah, now I got started.
Seven brings it to you uncut and unedited, so he brings it to you straight out the raw. He don't beat around the bush. He dropped that shit.
Say now we ready. Now we ready.
It's kind of like that ride.
My first guy with the. Go ahead, PM.
It's like that rides on a roller coaster.
Yeah,
right.
Heaven gonna take you just like this, and all of a sudden, drop.
Drop it.
Okay, before I go to my first topic, PM or Terrence, not PM, I'm sorry, Poke Dog or Terrence, did y'all have anything on before, we'll say it before we go to our first one?
I did have one thing I wanted to say. I felt like he was talking about the exception to the rule, like especially when you brought up firefighters,
Right.
because most women would not be able to do the job that's required of a firefighter. For
Hell
instance,
no.
deadlifting a 200-pound person and carrying them on their shoulders in a relatively quick manner, most women are not going to be able to do that. Now, when you brought up the military too, that I kind of laughed at that because I remember being told myself that we were expected to protect our battles that were female, and by them. Again, personal experience. So, of course, there were drill sergeants that were women that handled their business, but the battles that were on the same level as me, yeah, they acted like that chivalry should come into place. Yeah, like when we on the front line, they acted like that chivalry should come into place, and that's more of what the subject is about. Is those that are expecting the chivalry when we should be treating them as equals. Because, like for instance, like opening the door, like when Wizzo brought that up, like since I'm a Southern raised man, like opening the door for anybody who's coming behind me or something like that is just something that I would do because that's how I was raised. It's not gonna matter age, gender, anything of that nature. It's just that's how I was raised. Just like saying yes ma'am and no ma'am. I was raised like that. So those are things that'll
Fact.
naturally come out.
Facts.
Okay, that's what's up. All right. Anybody else, Terrence? Did you have any comment on that? I mean, anybody, anything?
No, sir.
Okay, that's what's
Get
up.
into it.
All right, so that's what's up. So we're gonna go and roll on, and we're gonna start it off with Seven. Seven had something he wanted to go and throw out there in the barbershop. So Seven, we sitting back up in the chair. You got the straight razor, get the cutting.
All right, man. It's a two-part question. I want to start by asking y'all
I'm
this.
sorry, y'all.
I want to ask y'all about women when they have expectations, right? Do you all think that women's high expectation derive from their delusions? And also, why do you think women have high expectations from men and don't want to do the same thing for that man that they expect to get?
I really don't give a fuck what they would want. I'm gonna have my expectations. I mean, to me, every person, man or female, got an expectation of the person they want to fuck with.
Mhm.
I got mines, and if you're not meeting them, now I gotta make a decision. You finna get on. I'm gonna let you know you're not meeting them. So therefore, you're gonna have to put in some type of effort. It's gonna be a give and take both ways. You're gonna do some shit that I really don't like, but I might can take. And okay, I can put up with that. You might do some shit that I don't want to deal with. I'm gonna listen. I can't deal with that. Either it's gonna change or it's not. If it don't, I'm gonna turn my ass. Like, but I got expectations of what I want and how I think my woman should act. And I put a big emphasis on my woman, not my girl, not my bitch, not my hoe, none of that. Cause if she my bitch, you here for what your job is, just to please me and get the fuck on.
All right, all right.
Hey,
Let me ask Seven this.
I just want to clear something up real quick. Now I know everybody's gonna have expectations, right? Now I get that. What I mean by what I was saying is women's expectations be set so fucking high. They like damn near unrealistic. Men, we have more realistic expectations. But how do y'all feel about such high expectations from women and the fact that they're not willing to give that, but they want to receive it? And do y'all think it comes from their delusions?
You just want women to settle.
No, I don't want them to settle. I just want to be realistic. Because most women not even team players.
But if she tell me her goals and what she thinking, I don't think that's some realistic ass shit. Listen, this is what I'm doing and this is how I'm doing it. You can rock with it or you can't.
All right, all right.
I'm not jumping through no hoop to meet your expectations. I got my own expectations of myself.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see, Jason. What are you going to say, Jason?
I wanted to have Seven explain just a little bit deeper give me some examples of what you consider in high expectations. Because right now, the way the question is formed, we all left to go off our own lived experience and not really go, you know what I mean? I want to speak to the exact subject that you're talking about, right? So like, give me some examples of what you're saying are unrealistic and delusional type expectations that you, in general, I get we speaking in general.
All right, so for instance, right, a lot of women expect men to be able to pay for everything and still be able to do extra shit, right? And they don't want to necessarily have to chip in and still not realizing how today's economy is.
Okay,
and then a lot of men don't have those high paying jobs, but y'all still expecting these men to go above and beyond for you, but you're not willing to put in. And then everything is about a woman's happiness, but what's really about a man's happiness? That's what I'm saying. These expectations is kind of weird.
Yeah, I got what you're saying now, and I can speak my opinion on that. I agree. I'm not going to, you talk to a lot of women, and again, we're speaking in generality. So of course, there's always going to be examples of women that don't do this, right? But when you talk to a lot of women, what's the first thing, especially these modern day women who say, well, I want to travel. I want to go out of the country 3 or 4 times a year. I want to do this and I want to do that. But I also want you to make 6 figures. And I also want you to take me on these dinner dates on a regular basis and all these other things, like you say, that are expectations, when the reality is the man that do have the money, the man that's out there getting that money and getting that bread like that, he ain't leaving the country 4 or 5 times. They need to get off Instagram. He ain't leaving the country 4 or 5 times a year if he want to stay employed or he want to keep running his business the way he need to. Yo, my man PM can't take off 5 times a year and go out of the country for a week at a time trying to appease some woman and expect his business to be stable when he get back. You see what I'm saying? Like a woman that get with somebody that's got a man, you want a man that's secure in his finances and or in his position or his level of success and whatever his chosen occupation or whatever, then you got to also understand that the trade-off is he ain't going to be able, even if it ain't about money, he ain't going to be able to be hitting the block with you every 6 months to go to Jamaica and go to Bahamas and go, now we going over to Brazil, we going to Colombia, we doing all this stuff. That's not realistic unless that man is an internet nomad that works from his phone or works from his computer, his laptop, wherever he is. And even then, when y'all on vacation, he ain't gonna be on the beach. He got 8 hours to put in. And if the time zone is not the same, it's gonna be at the different time. So, you know what I mean? These are unrealistic expectations, and I agree that they're there, but I don't think that it's a matter of delusion as much as it's a matter of us as men being logical thinkers and understanding that when we hear it, that it sounds like bullshit because it's just it's so unrealistic. And women, because of my point, because of the social media and the internet and all the different lies they telling each other, then they got this situation where, oh, I can get this man that's making all this bread. He ain't around. So what do you mean you want to go traveling every weekend? You want to go to, go to 3 or 4 dinner dates in the evening. I seen a deal, this woman on Netflix, this guy was a restaurant owner. He made it from scratch and he was doing well. He had like 1 Michelin star, brother over in London. And the girlfriend was upset. They was in counseling, marriage counseling, premarital counseling. She was upset because she said, well, he ain't around enough. This man, she got Rolexes on her arm. He paid for everything. They don't even live together. Been together 7 years, but they still live separate. But he paid her entire rent, all her bills. This woman don't do nothing. She's sitting around bored, and she upset that this man that she got that's financially secure enough the way she want him to be don't have the amount of time that she want him to have. If you want a man with a bunch of time, like Seven saying, you're gonna have to kick in a bunch of money for that man to have that free time and then make or supplement his business. Get your brother-in-law to go work and cut heads at PM style until he can go on that trip. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's a matter of them not understanding what that give and take looks like. Because again, you start requesting something, especially a lot of these women, you start requesting something that you've never had, then you're gonna give it unrealistic expectations. You go get the baddest chick you ever had in your life, and she qualifies as an Instagram baddie, and you think she's supposed to look like that all the time. If you a man, you unrealistic too, because she not. You gonna wake up and watch her bald head ass put that wig on and slather that makeup on her face. So you unrealistic if you think that's not what's gonna happen.
Anybody else got a comment?
Yeah. Hey, man, I'll say this, man. Of course, I'm generalizing, ladies. I'm not talking about all women. I'm not talking about, because I know all of you are not like this. A majority are, but all of
Rico,
you are.
quit being so goddamn soft and
Hey.
say that shit.
Hey, look, I don't want them coming for me in the comments,
Say
man.
that
I
shit.
don't want them coming for me in the comments.
Rika, like,
So
listen,
look,
bitch, I ain't talking to all you hoes now. Just
hey,
hear
look,
me.
yeah,
Goddamn.
I don't want them coming for me in the comments. So, hey, I have 5 daughters, and some of them watch this, so I don't want
Square
them thinking
business.
I'm talking about them. Hey, but look, of course, I do believe. No, I know that a lot of women have delusions because, and I'm gonna give you some examples. They want you to. Some women nowadays, especially, they feel like you should pay for their time. They think you should pay for their bills from the start. Um, or they want a man that has money, but then will cheat on him for saying he worked too much. Then if he stopped working as much, complain about the money. You know what I'm saying? So of course, I believe that a lot of their expectations are delusional. But at the same time, I do believe that some expectations are a good thing. They should be expected, whether it's a man or a woman. You know what I'm saying? I expect you. Oh, I expect you to treat me like a lady. I expect you to treat me like a man. I expect you to love me. I expect you to do the things you're supposed to do if you have a woman. You see what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
believe that
the
some expectations are a good thing, but I do believe and know that a majority of women's expectations, especially nowadays, is definitely a delusion, and they need to get out of their own head or stop being so selfish because at the end of the day, they're only thinking about themselves.
Okay. Oh, Jason got something else before we go to
Yeah,
somebody else?
yeah. I want to jump on Rico right quick, right? And that's why I asked Seven to clarify exactly what he meant, because I'm gonna tell you right now, bro, I've been the benefactor of some of these lame ass expectations that these women have for y'all, and y'all can't meet them, and then I come along and be like, it's that easy, you know what I mean? All I gotta do is take this bro to breakfast and I'm in, you know what I mean? All I gotta do is go to Applebee's and I'm good. Yeah, I'm with it. So some of these expectations that some of these women put on you, they really not that high, man. Because I'm
see,
telling you
but
right now,
that's the
that
Hold up,
thing.
let
you
him finish. Let him finish, Turn. Let him finish.
you end up being you end up being the best dude she ever had in her life, and she gonna give you a whole world of loyalty for doing what you think to be like Poke said. I just opened the door for this bro, man. She in love, you know what I'm saying? Because you ain't never opened no door, you ain't never put your coat over her head in the rain. So she see me coming, and it's happy day. So I've been the benefactor, man. So I'm with Rico on that, man. Some of these expectations really ain't high like that.
That's
Yeah.
that Jody shit. See, they made a whole lot of songs about that shit right there. That's that Jody shit. And that's why a lot of them go over there to Jody, because he doing all that other shit right there.
Jody.
Terrence, before we come to you, I need to see if PM or Mike or Pokey had something to say first.
Yeah, I got a
Oh,
quick
go ahead.
thing here. Like Rico, I got 5 girls myself, and I set standards for them. I allow them to be who they are as female, but also let them know
Mm-hmm.
if you have high expectations for a man, make sure you have the same expectations to give him. If you can't
Yeah.
do that, you don't need to be with him, or he doesn't need to be with you. So I see what you're saying, and you got these young ladies in today's society. It's all about Instagram. It's all about what they can get from you. And like Jason said, back in the day, I used to, hey, all I gotta do is buy her some chicken. I'm good. If you ain't gonna buy, I'm gonna buy her some chicken from Kentucky Fried Chicken and get what I gotta get and go on. Because back in those days, I used to have a saying, stick and move.
Right.
I wasn't that brother that was into settling down, so I was sticking and moving.
Roger.
Now I found a woman that got my back, pushed me to be successful the way I am today, and I'm retired. I'm enjoying life.
Yeah.
So but yeah, we have those expectations that you're saying there, Seven. Some of them are delusional, man, and some of them are, on point. You just got to give. For me, I give a woman an opportunity, and if she shows me that she's willing to have my back 100%, you ain't got to worry about nothing with me. That's all I ask. That's the only expectation I want from a woman, is to have my back.
All right. Well, I'm gonna tell you this before we go to PM. And your wife has been on Wizzo talking. She's a firecracker. She handle her own like a motherfucker too. She can bring it. So
Yeah, she
that's
ready.
for sure. PM, what you got there? PM, we gonna hit PM Poke and then Terrence. We got you.
I think a lot of with the expectations that these women want is simply because they might have heard what grandpa was doing for grandmother back in the day when we was opening the doors and when they were paying for this and paying for that and covering this. And like you said, times have changed.
Yeah.
So, economy, has changed. So, the prices of things are different. You're not making a certain amount of money. So I think they're caught between seeing what grandma and moms might have had and then versus what the internet might be pushing on them too. So every time they scroll or flick or send that finger up at the cell phone to see that next photo, that expectation goes up because she might see another chick that's on there looking good, even though she's posting her best photos, her best picture. Now the expectation is raised and they put that back on us. She thinks that now she needs to be jumping out of a car and big purses and all that stuff because the women that they looking at on the internet. So I think from my experiences, from the old school to what's current events, the expectation, the bar is going to be set a little bit higher and the reality is they're not understanding that she might not be as beautiful as Keisha with the big butt or Tammy with the big breast or the whole package. So that's that. I have champagne taste with beer money. So
Right.
then they can throw the expectation on us and say, oh, what we're not or what we can't do. Or I've even seen them saying, oh, if you don't do this, you can't afford me. So
Mm.
it's a reality and part delusional and all that stuff. But I think it's just a sign of the times that's making them think, and they're not really willing to put the work in. It's just like look at we should be paying into what they look like. So it should be automatic.
All right, that's what's
Hey,
up.
yo,
And
can I
to the
add on to
viewers,
what PM talking about?
what'd you say, Seven?
I just want to add on to what PM talking about. When it comes to them having expectations from the older generations, like their grandparents and shit, I think a lot of the things that a lot of the women forget, and it's crazy because I hear a lot of women say, "Oh, they want an old school man," but it's funny because back in them days, the men did a lot of stuff for their women, but the men also had like 3 households. Them niggas had 3 hoes, bro.
Woo, boy, they don't
Then
even be.
on top of that, let a bitch get out of place. A lot of them niggas was smacking them hoes, man. You
I
know what I'm
knew it
saying?
was coming. I knew it
That's
was.
what I'm saying.
Boy,
No,
say
I'm not saying that to be outrageous or nothing. That's just the
that's
reality of it.
facts.
Reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's facts.
when you looking at how the women was getting treated, you can't just look at just the positive shit. And that's the problem with a lot of women today. They want all these equalities and everything, but they don't want to take the grit and grime that comes with the shit. You want
Right.
just the glitz and glamour. Nigga, some of these niggas like motherfuckers want to be like Jay-Z and be millionaires. Jay-Z was selling drugs and hurting people. You
Right.
don't want none of that shit. That's how he got there.
Right.
So it's like when you looking
Okay.
at what the women is getting treated to, you also gotta look at, bitch, when I come home, I better smell some food cooking. Or you getting that, man.
All right. So let me say this to our viewers that's watching right now. Hey, keep the comments coming in the chat. We'll share them on the screen. The guys can go on and reply to them if they get time. So let's hear from Pokey and then Terrence. Keep that heat, Terrence. We coming to you. I need to see what Pokey got.
Oh yeah. So what Seven was speaking to, like the delusion of expectations. Like when he said that, something automatically came into my mind,
Okay.
which is how women live vicariously through celebrities and the social media. One of those things recently here in pop culture is the Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson thing.
Yeah,
A lot of women were looking at that like that was Megan's chance to pull a Sierra. Like they were looking at Clay like he was that straight square guy like Ryan, like Russell Wilson is, and that this was her chance to get married and be lavished by a 6'5" millionaire. And I feel like it's that type of delusion that a lot of women engage in, as in they're the top 0.001% in the world will come rescue them from whatever type of behavior that they have And it's more of that delusion that creates the disappointment and vitriol that you see a lot on social media. I feel like it's been socially engineered that way for women to have those high expectations without realizing the numbers that are actually involved in that. Because that's not something, and I think that we could lean more into that too, is that, hey, you got 10% of all men in the world making over $100,000. Now, if we just looked at all those 10%, some of them are going to be 5 foot nothing and 400 pounds. And some of them, and the ones that's in Clay's category, the 6'5", the crown achievement in his career type, he's got 100 different choices every hour when it comes to his options. 100 different choices every hour when it comes to his options. And that part of the equation, for some reason, always gets skirted to the side when it comes to women and their delusions. Like, you have to be competitive in the field on that level that.
Oh shit.
Okay, there we go. I'm back.
Well, you sideways like a motherfucker now.
Got full of that drink.
Drinking
Fell
on that
over
shit.
something, boy.
Yeah.
But go ahead, we hear you while you're getting straight though.
Yeah. So the delusional part is because not enough of us are actually putting reality forward. Like, when it comes to those levels, like, I do not expect to be able to have sex with Megan Thee Stallion because Klay Thompson did. But for some reason, women can expect that a person of Klay Thompson's caliber will come and wipe them up no matter what their past is. That's part of the delusion that I'm thinking Seven is talking about when he talks about expectations. They like expecting a Prince Charming to disregard anything that you've ever done and take you as you are and love you as you are with no competition.
All right, Terrence, what's up? Oh, Seven, Terrence,
Go ahead,
have to
Seb.
go. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Seb.
I just wanted to add to what Pokey was saying, because I feel like that delusion comes from the fact that men are able to date down and women want to date up. And it all really stems from the problem society. The main problem in society today is all these hoes think they a 10. That's why they think that they could just date up. None of these hoes want to accept that they a motherfucker 0.5, and most of them are. You're not even a 4-1, bitch. Suck my dick. Shut up. You know what I mean?
This dude, man.
But
Go
go ahead, Terrence.
Man, the fuck? But for real, unreal expectation, they only matter to her. I mean, if it's unreal, that shit don't even matter to me. I don't give a damn about your unreal expectations. If you got basic expectations that I should be meeting as a man, period, bet. If I hear you complaining about that, yeah, I might need to step up my shit on something. But if I need to give you $700,000 a month to keep up your image to be with you, bitch, that's outrageous. What the hell? The fuck? This who is you?
Just say that.
Yeah, goddamn, you need something, just say what? Man, bitch, you wasn't even spending that on yourself a month.
Yeah.
Who go with?
Let me ask y'all this. You know, we talking about the expectations and stuff. So when do you think the women are even bringing that up? They're not bringing it up on the first couple of dates. They probably trying to get to know you. Probably already gave you some pussy. Probably on the second date, the third date didn't suck your dick, you know, and shit like that. So when are they bringing these expectations up? Go ahead, Jason.
So I'm gonna go with that when they bringing it up, right? Let me write. You know, I'll be taking notes, right?
Yeah.
All right, because I'm gonna come back to that, right?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to jump on. I wanted to jump on what Polk was saying about Megan and Clay, and I 100% agree with what he's saying, right? And what I'm saying, I think that comes from the fact, and that delusion is born from the place of women can sit down and tell you, item by item. In some cases, they can tell you what industry they want this man to be working in. They can tell you what type of vehicle they want this man to be driving. Some of them can tell you what type of watch he need to have on his wrist. Some of them can tell you listen, you see what I'm saying? They have sat down and gone through, some of them physically, with pages and pages of paper saying what they expect from a man. And then they draw the line and say, that's what I want. They most of them, not one time turns that list around and says, with the man that meets all my expectations, would he even want me? Am I what this type of man would want? And a lot of times the answer is hell no. Especially when you get a man that's over the age of 30, definitely over 35, who knows himself, then he's already at a place where he can pass pussy by. You dig what I'm saying? If you gonna wreck my life or you gonna knock down what I'm building in my life, and again, if you as a man by 30 and 35, that's when it's starting to be real to you, right? We all lived it. Most everybody on the panel older than me, right? Like we've all lived it, where you get to that point in your life where you look at it and say, you know what, I'm starting to see something real here. You see what I'm saying? I'm building an empire here, right? If that woman is threatening that empire or jeopardizing that empire by her speech, her emotional deregulation, her lack of vision in what you're trying to do, all of those other negative things that we can say, then you're going to pass her by. It don't matter how fine she is. It don't matter what she look like. At that age, when you building what you building right, oh, no, I'm not going for that. And it's so funny to me when I watch anything or I'm talking to a woman and she tells me everything that she wants out of the man. So, and then to pivot back to what you're saying, Wiz, I don't think it comes up because I think they lead with it. And that's why so many of our women are single, because they gonna hit a single man in the face with the fact that he gotta have 6 figures. They gonna hit him in the face with the fact that he gotta already own a home. They gonna hit him in the face with the fact that he can't have kids yet. She wanna be his only baby mama and his only wife for his kids and all this other stuff. They hitting you in your face with that. So then you never even get to the point where we having a relationship, because they leading with these unrealistic expectations. And what do they always say? Well, I'm not going to settle. When the reality is, if we look at the list or requirements that you have for the man that you want, you don't meet his requirements. He's not even willing to bring you up, because we know men, like Seven was saying, when I was a single man, I didn't discount the woman on fries when I went to get a fast food meal. She might be somebody I want to make somebody in my life. We gonna get together and we gonna kill the world, right? So it didn't matter to me.
I got you.
What I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't work the other way. It's not the other way around. So they fail to realize what is expected. The women who can tell these women the correct way to operate. I'm trying not to be. I'm trying not to sound like this asshole that sound like an asshole, right? Right. What I'm saying is, so I'm gonna just go on and say it, right? What I'm saying is, a woman that has been with me is the only type of woman that's qualified to tell any other woman how to be with a man like me. You see what I'm saying? Because my expectations for life, my expectations for my women, it's not going to change. So if that's not who you are, if you not going to sit there and be a woman at all times, I don't care who pissed you off. If you got a break character, she took me out of her character, and you out in the street, you fighting, you arguing, you cussing, you all of that, you ain't qualified. It don't matter if I can check every one of your boxes. I don't want you. And they never consider the fact, like he said, they all think they 10s. He never considered the fact that maybe this man that you think you want, they don't want you. It don't matter because you look good or you fine because you 23. Because to be real, I'm looking at some of these 23 and 25-year-olds around here, and every time I think she bad as hell for a 40-year-old.
Yeah.
Your body is great if you were 40, but you're 25. You look a mess. Like, if I was 25, I wouldn't want you. Now, I'm 45, I'm 46, I'm 47. Yeah, you look good. You cool. You know what I'm saying? And so, you see what I'm saying? That's, again, a large part of that delusion. And then I want to say this, and I know it's going to be controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway, because my man Rico and my man Mike said that they have 5 girls. And I am a firm believer that more times than not, a woman with a good father is who ruins these women. because the good father is treating his princesses just like they are his princesses. So then they meet me and think that I'm just automatic. You a princess because you in the room. Hell no. You got to prove that to me. Your daddy didn't require that. So now you think the whole world think you a princess, and we don't.
Gotcha. Okay, before I go to Rico right here, Jason, I'm just gonna just say I heard you talking about all them expectations and all that stuff that women bring, and I'm just saying they asking for all this from us as men and bringing used pussy.
Man.
I mean, you know, you ain't bringing no virgin pussy, and even if you were, I mean, still that still ain't gonna get you all of that. I mean, yeah, the guy bringing some used dick too, but I'm just saying you want all these high ass expectations, but yet you bringing some used pussy. Like I said on PM the other time, the pussy ain't yours; it's just your turn. But with that being said, let me go to Rico because I know Rico was about to say something. We're gonna chop it up a few more, and then I need to go with the Rico topic next.
Hey, for my melanated queens out there, if you want to be treated like your granny did, I think Jason said that if you want to be treated like that, you have to act like that. Y'all don't respect yourselves. If you respect yourself, guess what? A man will respect you too. And this is in direct relation to this Megan thing because the hoes are mad. Ladies and women, they understand because they probably felt this.
Man,
I actually
Good
told
answer.
my wife, I said,
that
when she
business.
showed that to me on social media, I said, oh, he just hitting that for a moment. He gonna leave. Why you say that? I say she's a hoe. You see, you can't act like a hoe, dress like a hoe, talk like a hoe, and expect a man to wife you. It's well known all the men she's been ran through. Think about before she became famous. A man wants a
Yeah,
woman that
watch
everyone
it.
wants that no one has had. Guess what? If you walk into a place with a hoe, guess what the men gonna say? That's community pussy. They're gonna talk about him, they're gonna laugh at him. So we don't want to walk into a room like that. I want to be, excuse me. I want, and I think Seven said this as well. Not Seven, but Jason. A lot of women think that there's nothing better than them. It's a bunch of just like you. We as men have choices. What differentiates you from those other women, you have to be different. Guess what? If you respect yourself, you're going to draw that type of caliber, that type of man attention that you want. But you getting out here showing your ass, yeah, we going to hit it or we going to knock you off, show you a little love for a bit, hey, treat you good. But guess what? When we get tired of having sex with you, you're gone because we're not gonna wife that. No, we all of us at this table done exactly what Klay Thompson did. You see the attractive woman, everybody hitting it. I just want my
He
chance.
hit that hard.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, damn
And
right.
a lot
Goddamn.
men have choices, ladies. Lastly, I want to say this: stop listening to other hoes or other hoes in particular.
Oh, he cooking.
If you want the
Yeah.
real, talk to a lady or a man that you know loves you, not a man that you've been with or that you're currently with. Someone you respect and respect you, and that's going to give you the game. And when they give you the game, use it. And I promise you, the man that you draw to you, it'll increase. But acting like a hoe, being like a hoe, and talking like hoes ain't gonna get you nothing but fucked. That's it.
All right, boom, mic drop. Who comments? Anybody? Mike?
I got one.
Hey,
Unless Mike want to go.
I don't have a lot to say, but what you just said, Rico, hey, that's 100, man. Same here with you, Jason. Again, I got 5 girls, but I let them know when you. If I speak real with them. I tell them you're gonna act like a hoe. They're gonna treat you like a hoe.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Take care.
For sure.
If you go out and you present yourself in a respectable manner, stop watching these Instagram females. Stop watching these females that go out here get these BBLs and all that. That shit is stupid. It's not reality. They're just putting on a show to look good. And I've never been attracted to a woman with fake shit. If she fake, I'm walking away.
Church.
So, that's all I gotta say, man.
Okay.
That's
Pope, what's up,
100%.
Pope?
Oh, well, first off, y'all gonna quit trying to humble all these black queens. Let me say that right now. Okay, that's the first thing.
We telling them the truth, what we
Yeah, y'all
want.
gonna quit trying to humble all these
Yeah.
black queens. All right, that's the first thing I want to say. Okay, because Just cause she want a Bugatti every month don't mean she can't find a man that can get her a Bugatti every month.
He out
Right?
there, sis.
Okay, like all this y'all want the humbly bitches as y'all be calling them. Yeah, y'all just trying to make them settle down because you think they hoes and shit like that. Yeah, no. Somebody got to stand up for these black queens. Okay, it's gonna be me today. Make that clear, real clear. I'm gonna quit talking down on all the beautiful black women. I don't care if she got 7 baby daddies and 11 babies.
Right.
All right. She is a beautiful black queen. And she is equal to you in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
You know, and when you say that, folk, about the 7 kids or the 8 kids or whatever, and when 7 was saying something about the 4.5 and then 10s and the 8s and all that shit like that, to me, the bottom line is Jody's still gonna run up in that pussy, and then he gonna get the stepping, and then he, and that's just it. It's pink in the middle. He gonna hit the motherfucker and keep it moving. And let's see, he's not asking her how many this and her body count and all that shit like that. He see her at the club, and when we start like 7 and some other guys saying between these bitches and hoes and ladies out there, and Jason had made a point of that on one of the other podcasts. But you go up in there in that club and you see her dressed with all her ass out and all her titties out, you just gonna sling some dick up in her, and then she just gonna get the fuck on, because that's how she's presenting herself out there like that.
And I'm drinking her kids Capri Sun when I leave.
Damn
Goddamn, Jody can't take it nowhere.
Can I ask something real quick? Just one last time.
Kool-Aid.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, yo, I just want to reiterate this because I said this before on one of your other podcasts, is that to go along with what Rico was saying, but he didn't say this, but this is gonna go what he's saying. Women and men all need to come to the understanding that nobody should be fucking taking advice about a relationship from a woman, because women don't know what they want.
All right, boom, mic drop. Okay, now, sir, that don't be taking no advice from no woman because they don't know what the fuck they want. With that being said, if no other comments, I need to go and go to Rico and see what Rico want to throw out, because those of you that had never watched Barbershop Talk before, it's not all about Paul Wizzo. I always give my guests a chance to bring up a topic so they can be heard. I keep a shitload of topics, but hey, I like for them to be heard also. That's why I give them all a chance to say what they want to say, and that's why I always say, hey, don't leave. Whenever Wizzo talk, come on, get your popcorn, go take a shit, piss, do whatever you gotta do. If you're gonna choke that chicken, choke that motherfucker in the other room and get on down, because we don't want you choking that motherfucker while you watching us. With that being said, Rico, bring that shit.
Hey, Poke, I want to say, I want to preach. This here is for you. This first sentence. Anyway.
All right.
My topic tonight is because 2 of those Caucasian European Americans said something that I didn't agree with nor like, and I want to know how y'all felt about it. And they said something that was nugatory.
Oh shit!
Love it.
Hey, look, the governor from Louisiana, Landry, he said that people should be put away for life because if you go in public places and you shoot people, which I agree with, but he was saying that in regards to a shooting that happened in Louisiana that one of our people done. And then the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Kennedy, he said that all black children should be reparented and put in wellness homes ran by the government. He said this like last week or something. This is my opinion on this, and I want to know what y'all say when I'm done. White people commit 62% of aggravated assaults, Governor Landry. 62%. 53% of homicides. And the distribution of child porn. They are the leaders in rapists, pedophiles, domestic abuse. White juveniles are arrested at 63%. Black juveniles, 34%. So my question to this, y'all should stop focusing on our children and focus on your own because of this. You, the parents, commit all the crime now, and you only raising the next wave of criminals to terrorize the planet. I'm talking to you Caucasian European Americans. So it upsets me that they make it look so catastrophic when it's a child of ours that does something wrong, or one of our people that does something wrong, which is shown all over the media. But they're the ones who go around shooting up public schools, killing off kids. They go around raping children, little boys, little girls, especially old Dookie Pants Orange Man. But how do y'all feel about them saying those things when I just gave you these stats? I even have a chart from the FBI site where I pulled these stats from. If I could have put them on here, I would have showed y'all. They commit 64.5% of all murders in this country. 64% of 7 million murders in this country, white people committed 4,700,000 something like that, 700 something thousand.
Okay,
So
so put your question out there to us again. So
how do
see who
y'all
want
feel
to take
about
it.
those statements that they made? Did y'all know about those statements?
Well, I damn sure didn't know,
I'll
but
go
Hey,
first.
Pope.
go ahead,
So
Pope.
on that first statement, when you said it made me think, wow, that's a very opportune moment to say that. What I would have done if I had actually heard that, I would have looked to see if there had been any mass shootings in Louisiana while he was governor, to see if he had said something similar beforehand. That's just what I immediately thought when you said that. Now, for the second part, like that right there is just old school eugenics. That's right from Margaret Sanger's book of how to get rid of black people because they're weeds. The whole deparent them and make them wards of the state. Yeah, that was something they was pulling back in the 20s. That's old school eugenics, right? Straight out of Margaret Sanger's book. So that that is clearly loaded, laced up and ready to be exploited by any bigot that could get their hands in control of that kind of power in the situation of free willing with children. We already know what they love to do to children when
Right.
they're in situations of power. Now, back to the governor, like I'm actually going to look that up because now I want to know if there's been a mass shooting, and I'm using quotation marks because that really wasn't a mass shooting, that was a crime of passion. But if there's been any other mass shootings in the state of Louisiana while he was governor, and what he said, if there were, that would be my biggest thing about him saying that. Now, of course, it's a very loaded statement, and it already you're gonna look at him with the side eye. But is it because it was black people that happened to that he said it?
Of course it
Or
was.
is it the first time, or is it his first opportunity to say anything about mass shooting since he's been governor? Because that's the first time something like that has happened under his watch. That would be my just for my own edification. That would be the one thing that I would want to know.
It's gonna be both of
Okay,
them.
Oh,
let me
oh wait, I
see.
need to add
Hold,
something, Wizzo. He
uh,
said they should be put away for life, but they not doing that to the shooter, to all of they mass shooters.
okay,
Facts.
let me hear what PM got.
I think they're very aware of what's going on. If you look within the last couple of years, everybody know if you yell out male or you mention mass shooters, you're gonna first thing you're gonna say is the white boy or the little white kid shooting up the school. Um, if you look at all the news um, outlets right now, they've reclassified or they name it now. Any shooting is a mass shooting, just so the number of white kids that have been doing the mass shootings don't look as bad. Because on the news, the only thing we were seeing was white kid shoots up school, kid shoots up public, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. So for them not to look as bad, they've been reclassifying any shooting, especially ones at the nightclub, like someone just mentioned, it was a crime of passion, right, Tim? So in a situation like that, what they're doing is trying to not make it look as bad. So if we look at if you look at the news and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and they saying it was a mass shootings at the club, there wasn't no mass shootings at the club. That was a nigga that stepped on another nigga's Jordans and it went bad. You know what I'm saying? But what they gonna do is classify it as a mass shooting. So the numbers of blacks that's getting caught up with these type of cases are starting to look as bad, not look as bad, but to
Right.
look and match what they've been projecting and what all these white kids really been out there doing. So they try to make it look as if we're out here doing the crime that's, that type of crime, and it's really not that situation. So it's just the way they're labeling it right now. So I really think they knew, and I think a lot of people need to put focus on that. And why are they now continuing to label it as a mass shooting? Because blacks are now getting involved. They knew that we have gun cases, but they want to compare the two, and it's not the same. If a black person is mad, 9 times out of 10 he shoots 5 people on the scene. It was probably 5 people that didn't put their hands on him, or just was just in the way because he had a switch. But that white boy gets up in the morning and he goes to a school and he's just shooting up everybody because his mother locked him out of his PlayStation account. It's a different, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's a
Yeah.
real story, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn. Anybody got anything else?
Hey, yo. So, the thing that's crazy about this is what I've always said to people, right? Taking white people advice on shit like this, right, is the same thing that society is doing when they're taking the side of Meg the Stallion with this whole little debacle that's going on. Why are you listening to a well-known whore and who clearly lied in court on a nigga and everybody knew she lied and sent this nigga to jail? He didn't got damn near killed. Like why would you listen to a white motherfucker about the wellness of a child knowing goddamn well these niggas done killed slaves, rape hoes, rape children? Like, why would you listen to anything they talking about? Like, that's what I don't get about society. We just openly taking advice from niggas who do the shit they tell you they trying to protect you from. Like, bro, how is you trying to protect these kids and you literally just came out and said a white nigga had an island where they was fucking kids and drinking their blood and shit? Like, come on, man.
Eating
And then,
them.
right,
Damn.
and then you see then all the politicians and stars is involved in it. So how is you trying to tell poor people what to do with their kids and you got rich niggas out here doing some crazy miscellaneous shit?
Damn. Jason, what are you going to say?
Oh no, I was going to speak on what PM said. The federal government used to, in reinforcement, he is correct. The federal government used to classify a mass shooting that you had to kill a minimum of 5 people in one event. 5 or more people made it a mass shooting. They have since removed that requirement of 5, so they can call whatever they want to call a mass shooting. And like he said, it's to pull in those shootings where you might have, like he said, dude at the club, he might only shoot 1 or 2 people that pissed him off, but he was spraying and there was 30 people standing outside, so they call it a mass shooting.
Okay.
I want for y'all that don't know what Pokey was talking about when he said Margaret Sager. Margaret Sager is the woman that started Planned Parenthood and put in all the black and brown communities, and who was a Klans member, and basically said she made it was her whole sole purpose in life to kill as many black babies that she could. Planned Parenthood, since its inception, have killed over 20 million black babies through abortion.
Closer to 30.
It's almost 30. Well, I
Yes,
said,
sir.
dang, okay. So, so you definitely shouldn't be taking any information from them Caucasian European Americans, like Seven said. But that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Comments, anybody else?
I mean, that's just a part of society. This is a part of 400 or 500 years of what they've been doing for decades. So we're continuing. For me, I don't get involved with that politics stuff. I do in a certain way. My politic views on certain things are what we got now is just a danger for this country to be a part of a real communist country. And so we're looking at this stuff now, how the media is always twisting things around. And we got a lot of people who are buying into a system that is just set up for us to fail. And so what we have to start doing now is just come together as black folks, working together no matter what background we have. We have to start figuring out how to be a step ahead of them, because they're going to continue this agenda of putting the media of us out there to make us look like we're the worst things on earth when we're not. Because I see it every day. I look around, and when you live in a community, prime example, Lano, Texas. I don't know where if y'all ever been out there, but it's predominantly white. But guess what they got out there? A lot of crime, a lot of
Mm,
opium. They don't put that in the news
mm,
because they don't want to bring down the community and the price of homes down there. So they do that with us to make us like, okay, we need, and we always shifting and running into somebody's neighborhood that we don't want to be in. And that's what we need to start building our own community, building, be more stronger, be a more observed, and push our younger generation to let them understand, hey, this is where you need to be. Years ago,
yes, sir.
years ago, I spoke to a drug dealer in Chicago, many years ago. And one of the things I said to him, because he was the head honcho, I met him through my ex-wife. This guy, I told him, I said, do you know that if they want y'all dead, they can take you out right now. They can be 300 meters away and take you out. This ain't your block. But what you need to do is you look at these young brothers who you know that's going to be successful, pay their way through college, help them to be successful, push them to be in certain things that we in a community can build your community, own construction companies, own things like that, because we don't own nothing in this country. We see Shaq. I love him, but Shaq don't own Papa John. Shaq don't own none of these corporations. But we're constantly, as soon as they put our faces on something, we're going out there because they know that we'll rush to do things, and we got to stop that. We got to stop that because we're continuously buy into a system that is not for us. Like for me right now, I don't buy anything from Walmart. I got a friend that raises chicken. He's a brother up there in Dallas. He raises chicken, lamb. I go up there and get all my meat from him. And I go to another friend who raised. So we got to start helping each other out. If we're getting involved with what these white Caucasian are doing, we
Mm-hmm.
constantly pushing ourselves. We got to start getting out of that and just start looking out for each other, protecting. And like this right here, we got a whole bunch of brothers sitting on this panel. And I look around and I say, hey, this is what we need. And if we could get more out there and start building something to make things better for our community and our black young, for the younger generation is the ones that we got to protect.
I got you, Rico, but I need to see if Terrence had anything first. Terrence,
Nah,
you good?
I just feel what he's saying, man. White people know something that our people just not understanding. They're doing what they supposed to do. You stay focused on your threat. And until we understand we are the threat, and when I say threat for, it's like we don't understand we supposed to be superior in all aspects. That's just the way I feel. And till our people understand it and come together, like like when they was doing Black Wall Street, we can have that again. But it's just something, man. We just can't understand it.
We're afraid that what happened on Black Wall Street will happen again. But the Black Panthers, you know, and J. Edgar Hoover called them communists. They called them all kind of names. But they weren't doing anything. MLK, the same thing. Malcolm X, the same thing. They put us out there, and when we have black leaders, they use our black leaders and put bad names on them for us to buy into it. I just
Right.
think that we need to start coming together and just start figuring out things because we come from a generation of people that succeed in everything that we have done in life, and we can continue doing that.
Rico?
This is for along with what they were saying with for the youth, for all of our people, but mainly for the youth. The
Fact.
inferiority of the Caucasian European Americans is what makes them hate you, what makes them want to keep you uneducated, what makes them oppress and suppress you, because they know who we are. We are the original people of every continent. Everyone else is a carbon, is just a copy, a carbon copy of the original people. That's why you are hated so much worldwide. And until we have unity, if unity together as one, standing together, fighting against all this, we won't have anything because they know that a unified people, our people unified, can take over anything. We are the superior. We are
Man.
the superior. You could put us, what is a basketball court, a football court, in a courtroom, in a doctor's office, in surgery, in an accounting firm, wherever we go, we will dominate. And they know this. That is
That's
why
right.
you must, that is why they work so hard to keep us where we are at. So stop making bad decisions and choices in
Right.
life
Let me
because
ask y'all this. Oh,
hard,
go ahead.
life is hard. Life is hard in itself. But when you make bad choices and do dumb things, it's going to become that much harder. So stop doing these things. Hang around people who you know going to lead you in the right direction.
Let me ask you this here. I'll put this out here to you guys. And I could be wrong. I was losing my power on my battery here. Um, now, have we seen more of it? Like Rico was talking about this governor talking about blacks and whatever, and I think he said something about Kennedy, the thing that he said about blacks and whatever. Have we seen
Reparenting.
more? Say again.
He said all black children need to
Yeah.
be reparented and sent off to a
Right.
wellness center controlled by the government.
Right. So, but my question to you guys are, I guess it's like a two-part question here, I guess. But are we seeing more of it from this administration? And what do you say to? I mean, I know you have a right to vote for whoever you want to, but knowing what you know now, how do you, what would you say to the average black person that voted for Trump, whether it was 16 or whether it was even now, in all of the stuff that you see that they're trying to do, in my opinion, some of the shit that I've been reading and studying on to black people. So let's just say, Seven, I already know how you vote. I mean, how you feel about it, but I'm just saying with Seven, you know, what do you say to a person like that that's then voted for Trump and you knowing what this administration is trying to do to the black people? So let's start with Seven on that. Seven, what do you say to somebody black? I'm talking about somebody black, melanated skin, or whatever, people that look like us, educated, non-educated, highly educated, just black, period, that's then voted for Trump. You think they want to take their vote back? Or they just saying, fuck it, I make me some money. Shit, he do what he want to them. I don't usually say niggas, but he do what he want to them niggas. What's up, Seven?
Well, I feel like a lot of the people who did vote for Trump, a lot of the people, they they want the best for themselves to begin with, and then some of them want the best for their people. But I think the most fucked up part about it is niggas is still relying on their enemies to try to give them something better when the system is not made for them in the first place. So to be thinking that any of these motherfuckers is trying to do something better for your ass when they really want to line their own pockets
It's crazy.
is definitely insanity, bro. Cause I don't understand like how many times can we see a nigga do the same thing, and how many times do we have to learn that these niggas are so strategic that they plan in generations and steps in generations ahead to get to their final destination, and we still keep thinking that it's gonna benefit us in some way in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for people who voted for Trump, I don't care who you are. We're all like, man, with the most amount of respect in my heart, bro. I feel like you niggas need to be stoned to death or beat up or something. Cause nigga, you tweaking, bro. What the fuck is you doing, dog?
Right,
All
bro.
right,
You're
let's
right.
see who else. Mike, go ahead, Mike.
Hey, I mean, for I know some people that are black that voted for him, and like Seven just said, it's not going to benefit you. You can vote for somebody just because he says he's going to make taxes better. It doesn't matter. It's about them. Long as they're getting rich, they gives a damn about you. And that's something I've learned about politicians for years. They've come out and they run this game on you But the bottom line is white Americans, because they've been told this is what they've been told that they are better than us. Even though they live in a trailer park home, they feel that they are superior over us, which they're not.
Yeah.
And they don't realize how stupid they are. So they continue to keep putting these folks in office. And then for us black folks, they see something, and that, to me, they're not getting nothing out of it. And the ones that don't vote, those are the ones that bothers me the most. The ones that don't vote, because they feel like it's not going to help them. But again, it's all about being strategic. They sit back, they plan this stuff. They're always a step ahead of us. We gotta start being a step ahead of them, because what they're going to continue doing is put people in place to be put in office to continue to keep us down, no matter what they do. And we have to see that and be able to say, okay, let me go stand in front of this guy and ask him some questions. Let's get involved with stuff like that. Because again, when you don't stand there, like these politicians right now that's running in Killeen, some of them are going door to door, some of them aren't. I like to go and sit there and listen to their agendas. And if their agenda is going to benefit me, I'm going to have questions about it, because I really want to know, what are your agendas? What are you going to do for the community, for the black community? What are you going to do to make sure our kids have a future down the road? Because if we don't know, we're just going to vote them in office, and they're just going to sit back and make money off of us.
Okay.
Because that's
All
what
right.
it's all about. It's about that money. As long as they can continue doing that, we're going to keep sitting back and look at things and complain about things. I remember growing up back in the day, you could sit at a park and listen to brothers and sisters of white folks talk about politicians. Now you don't even see that anymore. We don't have that anymore. We don't have the parks where we can sit down and play dominoes, spades, and talk shit with each other without any crime, and go home and teach your kid. Because kids, when I was a kid, I used to sit there with these older fellas and listen to what they talked about.
Right.
And that's how you learn stuff that way, and you become a better individual as you get older. Because this younger generation, I had a young kid looked at me and said, "What I need to vote for?" And he was a mixed kid, because he felt like, I got a white mama and a black daddy, I'm good. But like I told him, when you go out there, they ain't gonna see you white mama. They gonna see a black kid.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Jason, what's up, Jason?
No, I agree with him 100%. My dilemma with what everybody is talking about, my dilemma is what as an example, Brother Mike just said we need to stay ahead of it, get out in front of it, pay attention. Rico said we need to not listen. Everybody had good points, and I agree with everything they're saying. But I'm so much of a realist. I'm asking, what does that look like? Because as I've explained before, all of us could vote the exact same way at the federal level, and it's not enough of us to affect any kind of change, right? So what is our plan of action? Who do we have to consider allies that see things the way that we do in order to get things changed at a federal level? Because we know that most of the Hispanics turned on us, right? Because they was going to vote for Donald Trump, right? Yeah. And now he deporting them and all of this other shit he got going on. We know that the Asians and the other melanated people from the Middle East, the Persian people, that they look down on us. They treat us all like shit because they see how we act in their stores that they open in our neighborhoods. So the reality is, we know that the liberal whites are really just using themselves as a platform or using us as a community as a springboard to do whatever their agenda is, right? Mm-hmm. So the reality that we are living in is, what does that look like for us to resist that, right? Like, we can talk, and we do talk often about how we, the Republican Party as it stands, the presidential administration that's currently in there as it stands is actively working against Black people. We all in agreement with that. We are all in agreement that something should be done and that we shouldn't listen to the bullshit. You got these Kennedys, you got different people saying what they're saying, but what's our reality, right? Like, our reality is what does that look like in practice? Like, how do we resist at the federal level, and who do we couple our lives with? Or let's be honest, you got guys like Seven, who's mentioned before. Okay, if voting to him, correct me if I'm misspeaking on your behalf, but voting to Seven is, I got this person over here who says they're going to fuck me, and I got that person over there that says they're going to fuck me, and I either need to choose which one is going to fuck me or just sit here and not do nothing and let it happen, right? So you have a lot of people that think that same way, right? So we need to get to a point where, okay, we got step one. Step one was, we recognize that we getting fucked. We recognize that this administration is actively working against Black people. So step two is where I'm at, right? Which is why I've been silent most of this part of the conversation, because in my brain and in my heart, I'm at step two. And step two is trying to discover and formulate a plan, right? Because if you're talking about on a personal level, I'm the type of guy that loves to have a situation and create a situation where a motherfucker got to figure out what they gonna do about me, not me trying to figure it out, right? So we all have recognized the issue. What are we gonna do?
Okay.
Realistically.
Yeah,
I can answer that.
I need to go with Mike. I need to go with Pokey right there, right quick.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
And then I got you after turns. Go ahead.
I want to go after Mike.
Pokey.
So the answer is, we have to become, once again, the priority minority. That's how we fix that. We have to become, once again, the priority minority. In practice, what it would be is that generally those of us who vote would vote as a solid block, and we would make it clear that we're only voting for somebody who is actually going to put tangibles on the table for us. And with that, for instance, what was it? In right outside of Atlanta, there is, I forgot the name of the town, but every level of judge in this town, in actually in the county, is a Black woman. Every level of judge, from the appellate court out, from the bottom to the top, every judge in that county is a Black woman. It's that kind of centralized power that we have to start building on. So now we know that all the judges look like us in that county. We need to make all the sheriffs look like us in that county. All the deputies look like us in that county. The comptroller of that state needs to look like us in that county, because that's where it starts. The most powerful person in your area is your sheriff. Your sheriff can start an army under the right circumstances, and can't nobody outside of the federal government even try to say anything in and of it. Not even the governor of the state. If the sheriff of the county says, look, this is on lockdown, this is my army, I have deputized them, he has that power and authority. It is stuff like that that we, as a group, need to start concentrating on and actually start funneling our energy, our power, our ability to be great into concentrated areas. Like, again, I can't think of the county in Georgia, but to me, that's like a perfect example of where it starts at, in action. When all the judges look like us, when the city manager looks like us, when the mayor looks like us, it's that kind of concentration of power. And again, as a group, we have to understand that usually the ones that have been put before us that look like us have been selected because they pass the test.
They're safe.
Yeah, they're safe.
Right.
Yeah, perfect way to put it. They're safe. Like the cat that was about to be the governor of Virginia, I think it is. Like, but ended up being real tragic.
Right.
He does not have what you consider a normal upbringing like we would. Like he went to a private school that you can basically consider Ivy League. He went to an Ivy League school. Matter of fact, he went to 2 Ivy League schools. Again, that's not the type of person that we need to have before us. It's the Cynthia McKinneys that they'll try to shut down. That those are the types that we need to be focusing on putting our power behind, no matter what kind of political infrastructure is behind her opponent or something like that. It's the on your feet, in your face, we are here, and you will not do anything less than kill us to make us stop.
Okay, I'm gonna challenge you on this. I agree with you, and this is why, if you recall, when I was speaking, 2 to 3 times I said at the federal level, because we can affect a lot of change at our local levels. I disagree with, if somebody tells me, oh, I don't agree, I don't vote in federal elections, then I say, oh, okay, cool. But if this person is going to their local elections and affecting change in their state level, at their county level, at their district level, I'm okay with that, because again, I agree with you that that's where it starts. But how does that transfer or translate into affecting any change at the federal level? Because just in the example that you used, they choose safe people that they probably met in these Ivy League schools and these high-end, expensive private high schools that they know full well have the same mentality as them, because they are having the same lived experience down to but for the fact of their skin color, right? So if you're at that school, whether you're there on scholarship or not, your lived experience and what you're learning and the knowledge that you're obtaining and how your mind is being molded is primarily, to the point of 85% going to be the same. And I'm looking for that, how we transfer and how do we get that at the federal level? Because again, at the federal level, doing the numbers, we lose. Perfect example, like you said, was Atlanta, and the city outside of Atlanta, where there's a lot of black people. Another example would be in Houston. There are a lot of black female judges in Houston. You know, things like that. Like these, I'm on board. I'm on board, and I 100% am going down there every time to take care of my local elections. Like Mike said, I'm going to sit in those town hall meetings and listen to a potential candidate tell me what they're going to do for our community. What I'm looking for is the reality of how we, or what ideas, or does it not exist that we can transfer or translate that into something that affects change for us in our benefit at the federal level.
Yes.
Okay, let's. I know you got something, but hold it, cause I got to get the other two. I don't want to try to go between, but cause Mike had something. Then I got you, Rico, PM.
Yeah, on that, Jason, I've talked about this many years ago, and I still talk about it today. One of the things that I feel that we should do, but we're not going to do, as black and brown people, is that America was built on violence. And what are the 2 violent sports in America right now? Football and hockey, right?
Correct.
If every black person and every brown person was to stop going down to that stadium down there in Dallas, and that white man didn't see our faces in that stadium, guess what he's going to do? He's losing money. Who you think he's going to reach out to? Those head honchos up there in the federal government. That's what they'll do. We start messing with their money, they'll start doing things the right way. But we constantly buy into that system, and we're constantly putting money into their pockets every day, but they're not doing nothing for us. But I guarantee you, Jerry Jones, if he went out to that stadium and looked around in the stadium and don't see any black faces and any brown, any Hispanic faces there, that man will call those politicians immediate, not the local ones, but the one up there in the federal government, and let them know, hey, I don't know what's going on, but I'm losing money. If I'm losing money, y'all gonna lose money too. And that's what we have to start doing. We have to put in a plan to do that. But again, a lot of us won't buy into that because we want to support football players. My brother-in-law looked at me and said, would you take money from a black basketball player? I said, hell yeah. What are they doing for us? Their kids aren't going to any public school. Their kids are going to private schools.
I appreciate that response. I really do. I wasn't thinking at that level, but you're right. That would affect some change.
Yes.
And so let's hit up Rico, and then we're gonna hit up PM. I'm gonna tell you this, since you said something about taking money from that basketball player, whatever you just said. I got sidetracked looking at something else, but all I know is that Trump come up and took. No, I ain't gonna fuck with Trump right now. Go ahead, Rico.
Hey, for those people that voted for this man, I those people they upset me, and sometimes most times, damn near all the time, I lose my cool with them because they are just as delusional. They are just as delusional as the Asian people who the white people used to get rid of affirmative action in college. What they failed to realize was that Asian people benefited from affirmative action more than our people did. And once they got rid of affirmative action, guess who's complaining now about not being able to get enrolled in these top schools? It's the Asian people, because you see, they were dealing, and those people we're dealing with are people who don't care about no one but themselves. It's their goal to destroy everything to put themselves on top. And our people that voted for him are known he slave master mentality. You think about they don't think about this, the past, their ancestors. These people tore the skin of our ancestors, wore them on their shoes. They took their teeth, used them as dentures, took our hair and used it as pillows, used our children as gator bait, shot syphilis into our people just to watch and see how they died to it. And you want to put your trust in a person like that. Those people will never let you in. It is known they will use you and then throw you away. These people are taught to hate us. And I won't ever understand how a person that looks like us, who they hate the most, how you can agree with someone who actually actively shows you that I hate your black ass. Like, do they hate themselves? Do they hate their children? Because their children are seen as black, even if they're mixed. You putting them in the hands, your children's life in the hands of someone who will kill them at the first chance they get.
The enemy.
Let me say something real quick here. One of the things I've learned is that I trust a redneck before I trust any white man in a suit, because a redneck gonna tell you who he is. He'll tell you in your face. But a white man in a suit, I don't trust him as far as I can see him.
Okay. I wrote this. I need to see what PM, because I ain't got a chance to go to PM yet. But I got to come back to that redneck. PM, what's up?
I think a lot of what we're doing is like what we're going through as far as unifying, coming together. We haven't really seen true communities like the ones back in the day. Like Rico was just saying, you know, our women have been raped, the kids used as bait for gators, beaten. We building different things. We enslaved. A lot of those people were more motivated because they came from and they seen it firsthand. They seen the bloodshed, so they can connect a little bit more to what was going on. I think that made them thrive and want to get out of their situation. They know what they built for the white man and what they could do for themselves. They were more connected to that time period. I think when you look at Oklahoma cities and all these different places where these white people have came in and destroyed it just off of, you know, a lie, because they seen us thriving. We had money, we had transportation, we had hospitals, we had all these things of that nature. We've grown so far away from it, you know, is that, you know, we have this idea is like, yeah, what can we do? We've always asked the question, how can we get back to that, or what can we do? I think that there's an example that needs to be set before it even gets to your politicians and your federal levels. If we can get the example that was set before us, like the Black Panthers, they established things and went into the communities and gave food back and protected and policed our own environments. And we really need a true example of what the next phase and what that future needs to be. It needs to be set. It needs to be a group of people that have come together and marked all, marked all the boxes, and so the people can look back of this time and say, you know what, I can believe in them because we're not worried about them getting murdered or knocked off and things of that nature, right? So if we can get that example, then we'll get people to buy into it. Right now, we so disconnected from what the reality is because we feel that we've made it, or I don't want to get involved because I might lose what I done gained. You know what I mean? We need some people that's really gonna come together and show us how to move. We need that group to be formed. Then the other is like is that if you build it, they'll follow type mentality. We just haven't seen that example since some of our black leaders have gotten murdered, shot, and things of that nature. So I heard somebody said, we scared to do it. No, we're not scared. We're just highly unprepared. We're unorganized. Once we organize, we can, like you said, we know we are the true people. We are who we are, what we can build. We are the culture. They're mimicking us. They're taking everything that we do in current time, and they still make money off of it. We just need that set example of the people that they cannot touch, trick off, and pay off. I mean, we need the core people. That way people can see that example, and then I think they'll buy in. The people will buy in. Right now we don't have true communities. We don't have no true leaders. Right now we say who's the leader or somebody that's leading black people.
Dr.
Nobody knows,
Umar,
right?
Oh,
Well,
Dr.
hold up,
Umar.
hold up.
oh
Let's
yeah.
keep let's keep it.
And they saying he's fake and washy, you know what I'm saying? We don't know.
I was being funny. I was being
But
facetious.
Yeah.
I,
I was
I
being
think
facetious.
I think if we get that established, then everybody will buy in because they're gonna want to be a part of the possibility of the growth and what can happen. We don't have those examples, and I think
Right.
that's part of our problem right now.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna touch on a couple of just the quick things, and then I'm gonna pass it on because I know Jason got some notes. But after I some, we need to hit seven and then Pokey. Uh, but I think that families were stronger back in the day than what they are now. Just my personal opinion, maybe by them seeing what was happening to them and things that was happening to them, and they were sticking to a lot closer together into the communities. Nowadays, you can't say, "Oh, I can't say nothing to that kid around the block about being out in the street or being out this or being out there," because his mom might get all upset or get all offensive because people talk about how it takes a community to raise a child and all that stuff because I think it's just a different day and time. I don't have a lot on that. I just my personal deal. I think families were stronger back in today time than they are today. And then the touch I gotta touch on this redneck. Uh the trust the redneck instead of the suit. Now, when I hear that, Mike, and I don't know, I'm just telling you what I hear when I hear that. I hear as Trump being the redneck and Biden being the suit. So that's like because Trump, people have said that, and I ain't trying to make this politic because a couple of people that told me say y'all talk about politics a lot. Hey, this is a barbershop. You never know what fucking coming up in the barbershop.
Right.
But people have said that Trump mean what he said he's going to do what he's going to say, and Biden is creeping around the way getting it done. But my point is, when I hear the redneck, I hear Trump as the redneck that I trust, and Biden is the suit whom I don't trust.
Let
Not
me
saying
tell
that's what you meant. I'm just saying that's what I hear because of people have called Trump the redneck.
Yeah,
But
but let me clarify that because I've been stationed in Alabama. I've been stationed in, I've been, y'all probably all been to a part of the South.
mhm,
What I meant by that is I had a redneck white man come up to me and basically made the statement that I don't like niggas.
okay,
And I
Oh wow.
and I looked at him and I said, I don't like white people. And there wasn't any fight or nothing like that. It was out of respect because first he made the comment, but before all that, he just looked at me and says, you probably not from the South, which I'm not. But at
mhm,
the same time, he understood what I felt being down there, and he made me feel comfortable in a way that I know what I was getting from him.
okay,
where Donald Trump wears a suit. I don't trust him. The rest of those people up there in Congress wears a suit. I don't trust them, especially when they've been in those positions consistently for decades and decades, to where they know all the loopholes and know how to strangle us without even strangling us. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I meant when I said I trust a red. I trust a dirty redneck white boy that walks around and on some kind of land and just sit there and be honest with you about things, instead of the ones that wear that suit and can't come out because they have other people doing their dirty work for them.
Right. Okay. Rico, I got you, but I got to hit 7 and Pokey, and then we'll come back to you. Now I'm gonna hit up with Jason so we can get in. Then I got to see if Pokey can get his comment in. I mean his topic in. 7. What's going on with what we've been talking about? We've been talking about a lot of shit.
Well, first, I don't trust any white people. It really doesn't matter. It don't matter what they have on. I've had a lot of people in my life ask me why I don't wear suits, and my ideology behind that is suits are the burial clothes for white people. That's not my culture. I don't even want to really fuck with that shit that much. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it could be made out of some nice linen or whatever. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. I don't want no tie. A tie too close to a noose for me. I don't need that. So the main thing what black people falter in this system is the fact that, and I've heard some of you brothers touch on some of this, but it's the crazy thing is the fact that we have become so accustomed to the ideology of being comfortable. And that ideology behind being comfortable is one of the main factors of why the world is fucked up the way it is, because it's a lack of respect when it comes to that comfort, because now everybody feels so comfortable where they could just say anything, as opposed to where most men, we live in a world or we live in a reality with each other as to where we don't really talk to each other with a very high sense of comfort, because we understand that if we get too comfortable and we say some shit out of line with each other, both of us could possibly die, because it's not really about one man, me being able to kill you or you being able to kill me. I think we both go into that with the understanding is, nigga, we gonna kill each other. You know what I'm saying? So with that thought process, we understand respect on a different level, where a lot of women don't understand that. And I bring women into it because it seems like society is becoming more and more feminized. So when you look at that, right, now you start to see the picture as for something way grander. When we look at old leaders like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Mahatma Gandhi, and shit like that, we see that when motherfuckers die, nobody want to pick up the mantle, because everybody has become so accustomed to a certain level of comfort in their life that nobody sees it as important for the revolution to die for their people. As to where you have other countries, or you see white people, they want to join the military and go die for their country. Why don't we see it anymore important to die for our people? We just want to live in a certain level of comfort, and we have to get outside of that. Even when you look at like Martin Luther King, when he died, who do we have step up? Jesse Jackson. Then this nigga labeled us as African Americans. We was never even called this shit before. So it's like, bro, it's all kind of weird shit going on, but nobody's really strong enough to take that and be like, you know what, fuck living. Because at the end of the day, you can live as much as you want to live. It don't matter if you're gonna be suffering when you living. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing I realized when I was in the coma is, nigga, damn near dying is kind of peaceful. When I came back to, nigga, I had to worry about bills. I had to worry about a motherfucking woman talking about I was cheating. Nigga, I had to worry about all kind of shit. Nigga, when I was damn near dead, nigga, I remember Wisdom talking to me. I remember PM coming to holler at me. Some of the other niggas from the hospital come to holler at me. Yeah, and that shit was still like a dream, nigga. I was dreaming about death, talking to the Grim Reaper. I was dreaming about all kind of shit. It was peaceful. But then you come back and doctor talking about some nigga, you gotta eat or you're gonna die. Oh well, y'all keep trying to eat white people food. I don't want that shit. So it's like, you gotta get comfortable with the ideology of you're gonna be sacrificing yourself for something greater. Because if we don't, the suffering goes past just you, man. And that's what we don't get. Everybody be like, I want to give my child a better life. I die for your kids, then, nigga. If you believe in it, fuck it, why not? Because well, all we gonna do is keep perpetuating this dumbass cycle, and then by the time my kids get old enough, now they gonna be paying fucking $10 a gallon for gas, like how we paying $4. And I distinctly remember that shit being like $1 when I was a child. So this shit's only gonna get worse, bro. What are we doing? Nobody wants to sacrifice any type of comfort for the next generation, and we have to. But everybody seems like they're so scared. But white people are willing to do the most egregious shit to other niggas to get what they want. It's like, how is we sitting here we want to vote and talk, but these niggas is willing to give niggas smallpox, rape bitches, kill kids, motherfucking make AIDS, you know what I'm saying? They make COVID. They want to do any goddamn thing to get power and keep it. But we over here, we not willing to do any of that shit, bro. Like, niggas not even willing to fucking smack their hoes no more, bro. That's how sad it's getting. And sometimes you gotta kind of do that, bro. That's like saying I don't want to whoop my kids. Now, I do agree that all kids don't need to be whooped, but most of them do. So you can't tell me most women don't need to be smacked up a little bit. And I got 2 daughters, nigga. I understand things. So this is not me being delusional. This is just me looking at reality for what it is. Because I don't raise none of these kids under no type of princess mentality. I raise all my kids with a warrior mentality, nigga. You're going to learn how to suffer. You're going to be strong. And you're going to understand how to love niggas and be a good friend and a good lover and a good neighbor. Nigga, this is what all the kids have to learn regardless. But niggas don't even know how to do the most basic shit no more. One of the main problems in the planet is niggas don't even know how to share. That's like one of the first fucking things we learn as kids, bro. How is that a global problem? You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers it's a bunch of comfort and fear. It's weird.
Hey, Mike,
Let me
if that redneck would have told me he don't like niggas, I'd have told him, me too. But I love black people.
I got you on that. I got you on that.
Hey, before we go to Pokey, let me just thank all of our viewers out there for watching. Hey, we appreciate y'all. You know, you got any comments, post them in the chat. You know, we'll share them on the screen. I see y'all hanging with us, and whether you watch it now or whether you watch it later, hey, we appreciate your support. Just make sure you go and hit that like button and share and subscribe button. I don't make shit on this podcast, so y'all think about that. I don't, but we damn sure come on here and talk a lot of shit, and we make a lot of good points too. You know. So with that being said, I want to go on and go to Pokey, and then we're gonna come up to Rico. Yeah, I got you, Rico, but I got to get Pokey because I ain't got to get to Pokey yet.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna hit Pokey, Rico, and Jason. Pokey, you still sideways too. I didn't know if you know that, but go ahead. We rocking with us though. We looking at your head like this.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, man.
Yeah, but go ahead. We can hear you. That's all that matters. So go ahead.
Yeah. So you had asked a question that I don't feel like everybody got to answer, but I did want to because I thought it was fascinating.
Yeah.
Is if you knew then what you know now, would you still vote the same way? And I thought that was fascinating because it made me start thinking about all the information that I have now previously to how I voted in the past. And it just made me feel like, well, hell, I wouldn't have voted for Bill Clinton if I knew everything I know now. You know, he wouldn't have made it. He wouldn't. Now that I know about write-ins, I'd have written in Ross Perot or something like that. Yeah.
So, go ahead.
And it was that thought. It was just like, well, if we did, you know, hindsight's 20/20, of course, you know, without saying it, but for the thought of the conversation, it was just like, would people have voted for Reagan if they knew about the Iran-Contra situation? If they had been forewarned about it, that's all. That when you did it, I was just like, that could go real deep, and it's a great thought process, sure, but yeah, when I think about it like it, then if with the knowledge that you have now, especially with the ease of access to knowledge you have now, that I'm sure FDR wouldn't have made it if they found out he was cross-dressing. He was, by the way. Just I'm not making that up. He was a
Right,
cross
right.
dresser.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and if the population had known that he was a cross dresser, he wouldn't have been president.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
that was just with that. Like I wanted to get back to that because I thought it was a fascinating thought
Right.
process.
Right. Well, and I'm gonna say this. Y'all know how I feel about Trump. I don't give a damn if Trump freed every black person locked up in the pen today and promised every one of us $1 million. I would not vote for that cocksucker. And most people just say that to me because it's personal to me. And I think that any black person, and I don't want to say white people because I'm not talking about them. I'm just talking about the black people that voted for him. Hey, it's your vote. Vote for whoever you want to. Maybe that motherfucker, you felt like you was gonna get some out of him. Maybe you're gonna get a couple extra $100 on your taxes. That motherfucker can suck a dick from the back, as far as I'm concerned. But the way and what I see that he's doing, and the way that his administration talk, and the way that his administration treat people of color, fuck him. Now, Bill Clinton, they used to say Bill Clinton was one of the first black president. He could suck a dick too. But you know, I'm just saying because when Rico or somebody earlier was talking about a lot of the things, or maybe it was Seven, a lot of the things that I think it was Rico that the white people have done to blacks, all them motherfuckers up in there play a part in that. And there's all the motherfuckers up in there that's been up in there for decades. It's like in their 70s and their 80s and shit like that. There was when I grew up, the TV used to sign off. When them motherfuckers grew up, it wasn't no goddamn TV, it was the radio.
Right.
And they can't relate to this day and time. So yeah, you know, you can look up and research who you want to know about who, whatever, but you gonna vote for that motherfucker because you feel like you got something from him or you can get something from him. And MAGA is gonna vote for that motherfucker because he stand for what they stand for, not a goddamn thing. And Trump, that motherfucker can't read, he can't write, he can't talk, but that motherfucker got me an extra $200 on my taxes. Yes,
Right?
Master. Fuck you. But that's just my thing and the way I feel about Trump. I don't give, you know, but to the black person that voted for him, hey, it's your vote. Like they talked about Chili and Snoop and all the motherfuckers, Soldier Boy and Rick Ross, and them motherfuckers probably got paid to go down up there because they put that money. You not gonna buy Paul Wizzo, motherfucker, suck a dick. You not gonna buy me, and I can go on and on about it, but I'm not. But that's just me because this one guy that's been on before, he said, well, Wizzo, you too emotional about it. You goddamn right. As soon as I heard that motherfucker talk the first time, I wouldn't vote for that cocksucker. But if that's your guy, that's your guy. I'm not gonna hate or do anything or say anything negative to a person of color that voted for him. Not talk to the white people because he'll align with us, some of them. But there's a whole lot of white people out there don't like that motherfucker too, and there's a whole lot of them out there right now that's wishing they didn't vote for him. You look at them goddamn farmers that's losing a lot of their shit. That's about to lose their shit, and JD Vance about to buy that shit up, and Trump steady fucking them left and right with no Vaseline with his pigeon ass dick. But that's just my rant on Trump and Clinton and Ross Perot. And they said that Ross Perot said to the fact that I don't know when he was speaking before, I think the NAACP, who's gonna suffer for it? You people. Say the motherfucker dropped out the race the next day or some shit. How in the hell you gonna say you people? But that's his old ass, and that's how he felt. Like that. They gonna do anything they can to get the black vote and the black dollar. If the black dollar would start going to the black people and we stop fucking hating on one another, we would be a lot fucking stronger together. Like, and some of you guys may know I referenced Bobby Tunde before. To whom you give your money is whom you give your power.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of motherfuckers around here that we give our money to and don't give us shit back. Even when you go to some of these damn stores in your neighborhood that's owned by foreigners or whatever, or something like that, we up there giving them, and you can go up to them and ask them a donation for your little league football team or little league this, they ain't gonna give your ass. But guess what? You're gonna be back up in there and they know how to talk to your ass. They know you go up in the store, they don't have shit in there for white people. Everything they got up in their fucking store is for black people. They got all the goddamn hoodies, they got the shorts, they got the shoes, they got the bras, the purses, they got shit to make your dick hard, got shit to make your dick off. They got all that shit.
Crack pipes.
All that shit. Crack pipes. They cater to black people because of all our goddamn money. So my point is, fuck Trump. Rico.
Hey, I want to caveat off of what PM said earlier.
We don't eat no caviar up in this motherfucker, Rico.
I said caveat. Caveat.
Hey, Rico, hey, before you go, let me say this right here. Hey guys, we've been going a couple hours. So if you guys have to leave or something, just make sure you send me a message so I can get it up in the chat and go and get you on out here because I don't know when this motherfucker gonna end. And so I just want to say, but I want to make sure that if you gotta go, that you send me in the chat so we can make sure you get some closing comments. But we need to hear Rico and we need to hear Jason. Go ahead, Rico.
Yeah, the caveat off of what PM said, we are what it takes. Men that's like us, that look like us, getting together, conversing and then talking with the youth, or even men our age who don't understand, that's uneducated. We as the men, we build structure, we build discipline in our families and in the world. If we as the men can fix our own families first, because the family is the foundation of every race, every demographic of people that there is, and ours is destroyed purposely. So I believe, in my opinion, that if we as the men, we get together, we come up with a plan and get structured and get some unity amongst our people, get out there in them streets or even on the phone, on the internet, even better, that it can begin. But until we do get come together and get some structure, build some unity as men, I don't believe that it would happen, because we set the tone for anything, no matter what demographic it is. We set the tone. That's why they go after our youth, the males, and they're incarcerated at a high rate, because they don't want us out there. They want us all messed up, crazy acting, undisciplined, the man not in the house. But we, as the men, doing things just like this, can begin whatever it takes to bring our people together. That's my opinion.
Quick, real quick here.
Okay.
Going back over to the foreigners, the foreign countries. I was stationed in Korea back in 1980. I'm watching a TV program in Korea on a Korean station. And guess what it was about?
What's that?
Us doing crime. This is what they're putting overseas for them to see us. They don't put their faces on it, but they got our face. So that's why Koreans act the way they do when they come to this country. That's why the Arabics act the way they do when they come to this country, because they see the propaganda of us and don't know us. But the first thing they see is, oh, Black Americans are this, Black Americans are that. Mm-hmm. And so that's why they do what they do. And it's sad because, you know, here I am, a 20-year-old kid looking at this stuff over in Korea. And when I turned 25 and started realizing, damn, they fucking us over. Mm-hmm. And that's what they've been doing for decades and decades. And it's still going on today.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I heard that, and I'm gonna come to Jason, but you know, I'm gonna say this right quick, Rico. When you saying talk to the youth and get to the youth, man, sometimes them, as they calling them YNs, is hard to get to and hard to get them to. Oh, well, your old ass don't know what you're talking about, and not knowing we didn't been around and seen this and seen that, and we have a pretty good idea of what we're talking about. But I just want to just touch that right quick. But go ahead, Jason. I know you got some stuff for us.
I don't know, man. I'm just taking it all in, and
yeah, we've been all over the place.
Yeah, and like I'm saying, I'm entertained, but I still don't hear. And keep in mind, I'm not discounting myself as part of the problem that I'm describing, right? Like, I'm still not hearing any answers to how we can correct or right the ship from what we're talking about, because even the last comment made was, you know, everybody is worried about self. And in large part, that's our reality. I'll speak for myself and say, I know it's my reality. I worry about my bills being paid. I worry about my people being able to shop. I worry about my people being able to eat. I worry about my people being able to live a good life, right? All of that being said, I just don't know, you know, I don't have a whole bunch to put in on the conversation, because I feel like it's not even a feeling. I think that we're doing a lot of talking in circles, because again, I'm looking for a solution, and we know, because we've we've tried to do, the financial boycotts and things like that, right? Everybody's not enough board, and not even everybody, but not enough people of us, melanated Black people, are on board to really affect that change that we know will prompt and promote change. Like he said, if nobody Black or brown shows up to the Texas Stadium, then we know that some phone calls are going to be made and some changes will be effected. But we also know that's not going to happen, right? We also know Black people still going to show up. Black people still not even that. Don't even watch it on TV, right? Like turn the channel, right? Yeah. Like we know that that's not going to happen. So it kind of annoys me to raise my blood pressure about these type of issues when the reality is we gonna all log off and we gonna all go back to doing what we do, and I'm gonna keep drinking my yak, and you know what I'm saying? Like we just gonna that's what we gonna do. Let's be real, right? Yeah. And so I'm emotionally, because like you said, it is personal for me. So it taps into my emotion, it taps into my anger, it taps into the passionate side of me that cares, right? I'm fatigued, bro. Like I'm fatigued with this shit. It haven't even been a full year yet. And I'm just fatigued the way that this thing is going and the way that, at least in my region and with the people that look like me, that live around me, which also is an indicator of what type of status or livelihood that they live, nobody is really giving a shit. You know what I mean? Like it's just what it is. It's just what's happening. And maybe it's going to change later. And I'm going to tell you right now, the reality of it is there are changes that negatively affect us that are happening in this country right now that cannot be undone. The system and the stage was set so long ago for where we are now. And we're just living out something that was planned for 40 years ago. You see what I'm saying? And so it's not like, because here's the reality. The reality, the Supreme Court, right? The Supreme Court, that's forever. They've already controlled to the point that they're going to have the majority on the Supreme Court. So even if they pass a law that would benefit us, and some guy, it's been so many examples of people that are paid by corporate entities to take a case to trial that ends up in the Supreme Court so that they can just knock that law back, right? And so it sounds good, man. It sounds good, but that's again, that's not our reality. Like it's not what's happening.
Okay. Let me say this, and then I need to I don't know if PM has something, but I want to get to, if PM doesn't, I need to see what Pokey topic is before the last one. But PM said something about leadership. We don't have that leadership anymore. Yeah, you're pretty much right. We're gonna get off out here, and okay, and after it's over with, it's gonna go. I think Chocolate Buddha always said too. It's good to have those discussions, but are any of us the next leader that can lead anyone? Like, how long did the boycott last? The bus thing, Jason. I know you probably know. Was it a couple years?
It was approximately 2.5 years.
Okay.
Rosa Parks was one of about 13 women that were arrested for doing that.
Right. But where I'm going with that, how many of us cannot give our money? I'm assuming that's what they did. I don't really deal with the history. Can't really remember. Not give our money, let's say, to the football stadium, to this stadium, to the white people in this day and time. That's why I say they were stronger back then than we are today. Back then, they boycotted that. What did they do? They wind up helping one another. Those that had vehicles, I'm assuming, helped them get there, help them do this like that. But a boycott today, in this day and time, oh no, them my Cowboys right there, or them my Raiders, or them my this. No, I'm going to the game. I'm doing this.
Right.
But they hit their pocket for 2 years. I'm assuming maybe longer, strong, and them motherfuckers gave in.
Right.
That'll never fucking happen in this day and time. And then my last thing here is, and then I give with PM, is that who is that leader? Stephen A. Dr. Umar, as they say. It does.
You don't
So
find
I
that
don't.
suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
So that's what I just want to say. But I don't
Oh
know, y'all.
man.
I don't want to start this as a topic, but I'm just going to ask because, like I said, I'm going to hit Pokey after PM. But do we think that back when they was doing the boycott, that all black people was in on that, or do you
No.
think that we still had some over there saying no, we ain't part of that? So, but you had the majority of them, I'm assuming, enough to make that change where
Right.
they had to go on and say, you know what, y'all know I don't say niggas, we need to let these niggas go and get back on this bus because we losing too much money.
Right.
So, but that was my thing on that when Jason was saying, you know, the leadership, and like you said, we gonna log off and we gonna go back. Somebody might hear this later, and who knows, the next leader may be in middle school now. He may be,
Right.
I may be dead and gone before somebody gonna come up. But a lot of things that's been done now is set. You know, the Supreme Court is set like it's set them old motherfuckers. But
Yeah.
that's all I wanted to say on that. Let me see what PM, and then we see if Pokey still have a topic. If not, we'll chop it up a few more minutes. PM.
The example I was trying to make when I just made my comment was like we need that group to have people follow, right? So just say right now, it's 6 of us on this panel, 7 of us, right?
Right.
It can start right here. We can start to where we start meeting with brothers, helping like Seven said, helping the young kids that are in, fatherless children. You know what I mean? We putting together teaching young men how to tie ties.
Mm-hmm.
People
Right.
teaching people just how to fill out the voting registration forms and different things
Right.
like that. But we need some kind of format, like a grassroots type of setup to where they see us collectively working together and it just build from that. Because if we can do the was it the Oklahoma City bike ride that what you had the tickets for?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Black
Right.
Wall
We
Street.
can,
Yeah,
if we
Black
can put
boss.
that stuff like that together, we can do it. We just
yeah.
have to have a structure of people doing it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
talked to Wizzo maybe a month ago about starting a Facebook page, just collecting our people, and we were trying to figure out a name to go by. That can be a start. You know what I mean? Just as
Mm-hmm.
something that's formatted to where the beginning starts the ball rolling. That may lead to something else. So no, maybe it's not just one particular leader that we need. Collectively, we might need a brotherhood of brothers or somebody starting it and putting it together. So
Right.
we was talking about mentioning starting the Facebook group,
Mm-hmm.
finding the name, and I was like, well, what can be something that's like starting can say that it's the start of something. So I was like, maybe the 1865 collective, right? That's
Right.
when we were freed back then, and that's when a lot of stuff happened within that year.
Right.
If we get that group formed, and next thing you know, we start community programs again and stuff like that, just from just us 7 people that's here. Next thing you know, this 7 can turn into 50, and that 50 can turn into 150 and so on. But
Yeah.
we need to start it somewhere, you know what I mean? And it's really been on my mind and my heart that it can grow just from the way that we've grown this podcast space.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We actually link up and we support you. I get more support from you fellas than I do people that I done grew up with. You
Yeah,
know
Right.
what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I have faith that it can always be done, be done. So when we was in the barbershop at one time, it was like, well, we've always talked about what black people can't do, right? And we had these conversations, and heard these conversations coming up as a young kid. But just think about it. If we were in the barbershop setting right now, everybody in the chair getting faded, and you hear this talk about, oh, we can't do this and we can't do that. Well, what about that little dude that's sitting over there that's 7 years old or 12 years old and he's hearing, we can't do it, they can't do it, they can't get along.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He's not grasping and fully understanding what we're talking about. But the only
Mm-hmm.
thing he does get from that conversation is that black people can't do it.
Can't do it.
You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? We need to start speaking it into existence. You know what I mean? So like when I get off this podcast now, this has driven me to go ahead and stamp a name on it and try to grow that channel. And for
Mm-hmm.
some reason, I just see it being a beautiful thing at the end of the day. Because if we can get thousands of people to go out to Oklahoma, thousands of people to do line dances from Texas all the way to California, yes, we can do it. We just need to actually start it and build it. You
Yeah,
build it, they shall come. That's just
yeah,
my
yeah.
way of thinking.
And I think that's how it happened with each and every one of those deals like that. Even with the boycott, with the where we all going to the Black Wall Street. It probably the first year I hadn't been there. I don't know if Polk been there, but I'm sure the first year it probably wasn't as big as it seemed like it's going to be now, and
Yeah.
it's going to continue to grow. And I just ran across it on Facebook, and I definitely say it's a 3-day event. And I put in my time off, make sure that I attend that event. So yeah, I agree with you. It can be done, and once you get that started, because you talk to me about it, all you gotta do is let me know, and I'm on there and I'm in there, and who knows, we may get on your platform or mine or someone, and we'll talk about it, meet it up, and then we all get together. We'll work it out, however we have to. But that leader is out there somewhere, and maybe he's on the uprise.
Because remember, the Kappa Beach party started from a group of students that couldn't go nowhere over the weekend.
Yeah,
And that thing blew up out of proportion. But the negative stuff
Man,
that
Yeah,
came
I
along
used
with
to
yes,
it.
sir.
love the Kappa
Yes,
Beach,
sir.
man.
Look at all you little nasty little rascals.
Listen,
okay.
man.
I plead
Hey,
the
folks,
fifth.
I'm sorry to get to you kind of late, but what you got to throw out there for us, and then we're gonna chop it up with that, and then I'm gonna let you guys get ready to get out of here, because shit, we can go. Jason got the yak. I'm out of my shit. I don't know why I brought one out here. Mike over there. He ain't sipping no shit. I don't see Mike. Where you? Oh, okay,
Mine's up there, man.
okay.
I got that yak also.
You got that yak also. Okay, Pope, what you got, Pope?
I see men of culture on the panel. All of us have some type of cognac sipping on right now. Yeah, I
Right.
like that. I like that.
I got that
Men of
water
culture.
yak.
Yeah, he got that water yak.
Yeah. Now, wow, there's a few things I want to address, and I definitely do have a topic. Just real quick. So, when it comes to leaders, I feel like that's the wrong direction to go in, simply because, dog, I forgot who the head of the FBI was during the LBJ
Yeah,
administration.
Kahuku, wasn't it?
J. Edgar Hoover. Thank you kindly. Yes.
Yeah.
And he
All
was
right.
black.
That gay
Yes,
man.
and he was. Yes, he was. Yes, he was black. But he could pass. Anyway, during that administration, it has been pretty much set in motion that there will never, ever, 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 ever be another black Messiah. That's like one of the number one things that's still to this day making sure that this implemented. So I don't think us looking for that one leader to stand in the front is a good idea, because of what has happened in the past, which will continue to happen if that were the case, which is somebody's going to get shot and nobody's going to ride out like Seven was saying. Because I know for a fact, if I had been alive during the Malcolm X era, I'd be dead, because I would have went left. I'd have went rootin' tootin', all the shooting, Yosemite Sam. Okay, same thing with Martin Luther King. How not Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson was selected. Jesse Jackson was selected to be next in line, and
Right.
he was part and parcel part of the murder of Martin Luther King. And this is in
Facts.
court documents. This is
Facts.
in court documents. And
Fact.
he was part and parcel part of the problem. Another one, Al Sharpton. Another one, part and parcel, paid for, hook, line, and sinker, dirty stinking rat.
Correct.
Dirty stinking rat. So when it comes to that Messiah complex, I am leery of that, because I'm aware of the history behind it. I feel like what should be everybody can get behind is the rules, the goals, the point, the object is to get back to what was the equivalent of another Black Wall Street on a more grandiose level, instead of just each individual town, which clearly we didn't do enough to protect, but we probably were just ignorant of how to properly protect those things. But to me, it needs to be about what the goal is, and people hard knock about making the goal happen. Not we need to wait on so and so to do it, and we're gonna follow behind him. No, every last one of us, especially the men amongst us, need to take steps in the direction of the same goal. And the people who want to come, they will get behind us. How do you say it? Like you need to make your back big. And I'm not talking about eating like big back as a joke. I'm talking about the old school saying of it, where the reason you want your back big is because that's what people are going to see of you the most if you're a man, because they're going to be behind you.
Right.
And that's why you want your back big, so that people can see which way you're going, and if they on point, then they'll follow behind you.
Right.
Okay.
So with the Messiah, quote unquote, Messiah leader thing, I think that's a dangerous way to look at our objective of us as a group being better, because then if he falls off, just like when Martin Luther King fell, all of a sudden there's a big dramatic difference, and we get cake ass Jesse Jackson, and now we African American instead of how Seven would bring up, like we are the original people, even of this land. And both Malcolm and Martin were talking about that.
Yeah.
And the problem is that because they were the leaders, and I'm using quotations for that, but they were the most visible and objective people that were for us. As soon as they get X, it's almost totally shut down. It's just Medgar Evers is another one. As soon as it even looked remotely close, like you finna take charge. Yeah, we coming through your bedroom at night. And you forget your parents, forget your children. Yeah, murder. It's murder for real.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like Seven said, sometimes you got to be willing to die for that shit. I mean,
true.
I think that, you got to have somebody got to at least get it started. He may not be called a leader. He may not be called a Messiah or Jehovah or whoever he might want to be called, but somebody has to get it started. And just like you're not saying, you're not for the leader or whatever like that, but it was a whole lot of them that wasn't for the boycott also. But somewhere in the middle, somebody got to go on and meet and get it started. Everybody is not going to be on board. But at some point, we can sit in a group of people of 100 and brainstorm it, and only 50 agree, 50 won't. But somebody got to get it started. Then you got to go and roll with that thing. And you got to be ready to die for it. Because if you that one, best believe they going to get your ass. Then somebody on here say that they can shoot your ass from 300 meters or 300 yards or whatever down the road. So if you ain't ready to die for it, don't get your ass in that seat. But, that's just my thing on that. And let me say this, as far as Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, I personally did not like now one of them motherfuckers. I mean, I didn't like the way Jesse talked, and Al only showed up when somebody was this or that with his little funny looking ass. I just didn't like him. And I know Jesse Jackson's gone and all that, but I still didn't like the motherfucker. So that's just my thought. Poke, anybody have a comment before Poke say what his topic was going to be? Nope. Okay, Poke, go ahead, man. And I'm sorry, like I say, getting kind of late, but we was all over the place and chopping it up. So, what's up?
I enjoy it. All right, so just a social observation, because most of us are Generation X or older. So the equivalent socially of a Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or a Braxton Hartnebrig from the Jamie Foxx show, or Benson, for instance. I don't know if y'all remember the show Benson, where he was the butler. Yeah. Like there are plenty of portrayals of dudes like that. And I left, and let me say this first, I left Steve Urkel off on purpose because I felt like he was more of a character than a caricature than somebody you would actually meet in real life. Right. But you'll meet a Carlton, you'll meet a Braxton, you'll meet a Benson in real life. And what the question is that, can any of y'all point out what the equivalent of a woman would be for that? Either TV, movie, a book, anything. Like what is the social equivalent of the square Carlton, the square Braxton, the square Mr. Benson? Like, where is that at? Like, examples of that. Like, is that just only black men can be that square? That was my topic.
Holly Berry off of Boomerang.
Oh wait, how about Stacey Dash? Do y'all niggas know who the fuck that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying.
Yeah. In real life, she's that.
I get what you're saying, and I also see where you're going, and I agree with you, right? Before you even say it, because I see where you're going. And the reason that we didn't see Black women portrayed in the equal and separate part of those three type of characters is because those three type of characters were beamed into our homes to show the weakness of a Black man, to tear a Black man down, to show that we're not the big bad wolf that everybody thinks we are, but in a negative way, right? Not because you should take caution when dealing with these big bad wolves, but see, they're not as tough as you think they are. They have weakness, and this was to show that weakness. But remember that the narrative, especially at the time that these characters were popular, the narrative was that we were a useless entity in the home and that we needed to be removed and that a woman was strong enough to do it without us. And so they had to try to effeminate and emasculate us in character. And that's what these type of characters did, was show that we were anything other than the Big John, the railroader. You see what I'm saying? That was going to come in and take care of business and feed his family and work hard and do these things. And so these characters, I don't think that we ever got technically, and not one that made any kind of real impact of the Black woman being shown as weak. What they did was, by contrast, was you had your Shanae's and you had, all these hood Black women, and that's what they did to them, right? They would give us these characters to show us the inadequacies and the unintelligence of our women versus the lack of strength. Because even Shanae would ball her fist up and be ready to fight, right? So you see what I'm saying? They didn't try to show them as weak because they had already sold the narrative that they were strong without us. They showed them as hood and shouldn't be taken seriously. But I see where you were going with it, and if I'm wrong about where you were going, correct me.
No, that's an interesting take. I've noted on that, but I do want to make sure I get everybody else in because we can definitely go back and forth easy.
Yeah. Shit, I am totally lost to it. I have no idea who the woman would be like that. I like what Jason put together on that, but I have no idea who it can be. I heard him say Halle Berry, and I heard Seven say Stacy somebody, but
Stacey Dash, whatever her name
is. So I don't know. Rico or Mike, y'all got any input on what Pokey said?
No, I mean, I agree with what Jason just said right there.
What about Amorosa?
Oh, hold up, Rico. Mike was still saying something. Go ahead, Mike.
I just heard that name. You might be close to that. She might be the closest one to it.
Yeah. So I don't know, Rico. What were you gonna say? Amorosa.
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 Nigga, what? Okay. All right.
I thought he was talking to me.
Well, yeah, we asked you to, and Mike answered also too. Yeah. I think we got a little bit of a delay, I think.
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy with that too? Out of all those examples of those guys, it was always that one episode to where he had to show that he was hood. He always got that one main character out of trouble when he went to the hood and got into some stuff.
Yeah.
He had to transfer into somebody else, you know what I mean, to help the main character out, Carlton. Remember, he went to the hood and he thought he was gonna die or get beat up.
He had that pulled that pistol out. Yeah, he pulled that pistol out on them boys.
It was times that each one of those characters had to get Bill, the main character, out. So it was one of those things too. He was learning how to act. You know what I mean? You know how you say you know how to act. He had to play the role to be where he was at for that moment. But deep down inside, they say it was still a nigga in there.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Pope. What else on it? Cause that got me. I mean, I watched all those just very little. I never did really watch them. Look at them. Sometimes I just look at the motherfuckers because they were just on and never paid no attention to their character and this and that or whatever. So, but I mean, I like the way you guys had put it together like that because I didn't look at it like that.
So, and I love Jason's take on it. That's a very interesting take, but the weakness that you're saying, like, I feel like you're saying that they didn't have enough nigga juice, and I think that's I actually am glad that they didn't have enough nigga juice. It's because Carlton to me represented what was clean, what was on time, what was not. The only thing I'm finna listen to is Pooh Shiesty and Spot 'em Got 'em. You know, like and with Braxton, for instance, like his character was not yeah, you know what I'm saying. So these hoes all got this big fat ass, and I'm gonna get up on it. No, he spoke, he enunciated his words.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he was on time. He didn't sag his pants, for instance. He was not portrayed as a womanizer. He was never portrayed as someone who you could not trust. And same thing with Mr. Benson. The Benson character. Now, I will say that there's quite a few stereotypes with Mr. Benson, like the magical Negro stereotype. Like there is a lot of that. There is a lot of that with him. But the part about being upright, about being not ghost from power. You see what I'm saying? Like those portrayals were of black men that me and you and everybody else we can see them. That tend to stay away from imitating street life, imitating the rugged individualism, avoid what would be associated with. God dog, I don't want to say that. They would be associated with behaviors that have been negatively portrayed in social media, regular commentary all the time. That's what I was looking at when I was bringing them up.
Okay.
I love how you were saying that it's about emasculating black men. I do. I love that. I love how you looked at that. But I'm looking at it as in, where is the images of the woman, the black woman, who do not have it's tea time, the neck rolling, like where that's what I'm talking about. Like the
I got you,
anti
Jason.
stereotype. Where is the portrayal of the anti stereotype black woman in media? And again, this is the non Medea, the non you brought up Jody, the non Yvette, the non Yvette. Where are those portrayals at?
Okay. Jason.
But I want to challenge you on that because I don't agree. I don't agree that. I mean, I do agree clearly, obviously, that there was a lack of hoodness to them. But my challenge is, could these three characters in particular that you pointed out, could they have been shown as non-hood, but also not be shown as a weaker man than the other men? You see what I'm saying? If they're in a community of men, all three of those characters are going to be seen as weaker and less than. And even if we go to the other side and we shift and we say that we remove the hoodness and leave the strength, then you have your Claire Huxtable, you have same show, you have Aunt Viv, you have these women who were positive and who were non-hood, but they also did not make them, which would be the counter, also did not make them very masculine women and very unattractive based on personality women. They intentionally, in my opinion, emasculate. Okay, you got Benson. Benson works in a pink job. He's cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids, right? So he's working in a pink job. Braxton was so humble and would humiliate himself on a regular basis and almost come off as uneducated and ignorant because of how he just didn't understand common sense things, not necessarily hood things or black stereotype things that every black person plays spades type shit, right? I'm not even saying that. I'm saying they could have made those characters not hood, like you're saying, and not also put them down to where it's almost humiliating or demasculating them.
Now, see, the thing about this is that you're saying that it's an emasculating thing for them to not portray hood. So what would be an example of a non-hood man in any media format that was shown strong. But again, not with the stereotypes, because that's what I'm really focusing on for the social observation.
James Evans, Cliff Huxtable. He wasn't a feminine man. He took a lot more shit from his woman than I think I'm ever going to take, right? But
I'm gonna give you hold on, Jason. I'm gonna give you Cliff Huxtable, but James Evans, like that whole show had a whole bunch of stereotypes
that
in it from the
show
70s.
is very
I
problematic.
got you, Rico.
It was very problematic. But you asked me about an example of a strong man. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, that was not hood.
That's
and
non-hood.
James Evans was hood.
Nah, James.
He wasn't a thug.
He had two episodes. He drank with his old army buddy, that Muscatel, that night, right? When they went and started scamming people with the church or whatever. But other than that, James wasn't hood, and he tried to keep them kids out of the street.
James was hood.
Man,
Let me see what Rico.
Living hood. You get what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying?
James had street knowledge.
Okay, but you get what I'm saying? Okay, same thing.
He was a street grad.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
But what I'm saying is,
Braxton didn't have no street cred. James was whoop your ass.
That's because he was a strong man.
James had street cred. You had to wait till one of his homeboys came out there.
That's what I'm saying.
Gang members in his show.
Because he had to do what he had to do. That's just being a strong man. That ain't hood. That's just doing what you got to do. But again, I think that entire show was problematic. But what I'm saying is they could have made those three characters in particular that you're speaking about, because listen, Benson could have been, I forget the character's name, the white guy that he worked for, but he could have been his accountant that came over every day. There was shows like that where that happened, right? Braxton could have just been another guy that works at the place that, again, Ivy League education and be a normal guy, but they made him like almost a bumbling idiot because he didn't have any kind of street knowledge, right? And then you got Carlton. Carlton could have been everything that he was. He was playing field hockey and he was hanging out with the white guys in the suburbs. That's not necessarily any different than my life once I left Oak Cliff, right? But that doesn't mean that he had to be what they made him as a character.
Mm-hmm.
Look how they did the black women in those shows. Neil Carter from Give Me a Break.
There you go.
She was loud. Then you had George Jefferson maid. She was off the chain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like the women. Could this be where they say black women are loud? Because every position they put them in on television is them going crazy on somebody.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Let me get Rico, y'all. Let me get Rico, and then we're going to get ready to close up out here in a few minutes. Rico, go ahead.
Hey, for me, I thought he was going to say it when he said George Jefferson's maid. For me, it would be George Jefferson. Now we know he came from the hood, but according to the Jeffersons, he's already rich because he moved on up to the top, right? So he would be in that particular TV show. He was a non-hood man who was always down for our people and didn't deal with them hunkies, as he used to call Tom.
Exactly.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what he used to call Tom all the time. He didn't deal with them people.
They didn't, even though we, like he's saying, even though we knew in his personal life that he was a homosexual male and he had whatever going on, his character always garnered respect. And they didn't effeminize his character. They didn't humiliate his character. You see what I'm saying? They let him not be hood, and his son, what was his son's name? Lionel, right? That character of his son, they were not hood, but they also didn't they didn't feminize or humiliate or dehumanize them like these other characters that they did. And that's an opinion. Again, we have an opinion. I love the question. I love the dialogue.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So
And y'all,
George Jefferson was a homosexual.
Oh, in real life, absolutely.
Yeah.
Open.
Man, free R. Kelly, man.
Damn, he said
there you go with that shit.
Openly.
Yeah.
He was absolutely openly a gay man in real life. Yeah. You know who else? The black guy from In the Heat of the Night. Openly gay man.
And Urkel's daddy and and Will Smith's butler. They supposed to have a relationship.
Yeah,
they all pitch it and catch it. Hey, hey, y'all see what Seven got right there with it, y'all? Look what Seven got on his shoulder.
You got a new
he got that baby. He got him a new one.
Oh,
look at him, man. You can't say a curse word for 2 months.
Hey guys, let's do this right here because hey, we steady going. We've been all over the place. It's definitely been good. You know, good topics, good question, good comments. Hey, we agree and we disagree, but hey, that's all part of it. But what we're gonna do now, we're gonna get some closing comments up out of here, and then until the next time, we're gonna see what happens. So let's start with Seven, since he got baby girl right there on him, and so I know he ain't gonna get too wild now. Seven, closing comments. What you got?
I still believe that people have to be willing to die for what they believe in, and it's too much fear going around, and everything has become so feminized that I don't think a lot of people honestly understand what women are truly doing to the society. And I'm not saying that women are fundamentally evil, but women are definitely fucking selfish. So the world is getting way worse, bro, because everybody's becoming so feminized and so selfish, and we all feel like our emotions are so important. Instead of looking at the emotions of the whole, everybody individually is prioritizing their own emotions, as to where the whole energy of us all being selfish is getting so much more worse. So people have to understand how to be more selfless and how to start really trying to live in other people's shoes. And when we do that, then I feel like society as a whole, we can start becoming more selfless and we can move forward. And that's pretty much it, man.
All right, that's what's up. I
He
appreciate it.
wanted to have that baby in his arms more often.
I was just gonna say that's
Crazy.
probably the most coherent shit I heard you say in a
A
while.
long time, especially for an exit. Yeah, we gonna have to put you on baby watch.
All right, let's
Crazy.
Mike, what you got? Closing comments, Mike. What you got?
Oh, and first of all, I want to thank y'all for allowing me to come on this panel with y'all. I appreciate it, and the topics and the conversations was real deep. One of the things to Jason, I know it's a task for us as black man and black people, period, to come together to try to mess with people's finance. And that's something that I've been just trying to figure out myself for years now. And I don't know of a way to do it, but I'm always trying to think of ways to do things to make us better. And so, we just got to get together and, like, Seven said, it's too many fears. We got too many people got fears. Like right now, I'm at a point in my life I don't care anymore. As far as what people got to say, because it's at that point. I have my kids. They have a future ahead of them, and I got to do something to make their future better. I have grandkids, so I just got to look out for their future, and I hope that we all can come together. Man over here, the barbershop guy. I mean, if we can get together, man, and try to figure out something where we can all sit down. There's 7 of us on this panel, so if we could all sit down and figure out, make plans, do some outlines, and figure out, okay, what direction we need to go to make things better. I think we can do this. And again, thank y'all for allowing me to come on board here with your panel. It's appreciated.
Already, Mike. Hey, appreciate you coming on. All right, that's what's up. And let's go on and go over to PM. PM, what you got? And we don't come at us with that damn free R. Kelly shit.
Nah, I'm rolling with him. I'm with him.
I'm with it. I'm not gonna free R. Kelly. Listen, if Trump gets to ride,
Free the aura.
if MC get to ride, if everybody and their grandma, all in them files get to ride, free R. Kelly.
Free the aura.
All right.
I'm ready for some new music. Fuck what you talking about.
Well, you're there making some shit.
I'd like to
Okay.
thank y'all, man. This is very therapeutic just to come over here and talk to men, about different conversation without nobody getting offended. And we can all voice our opinions, you know what I mean? And just get to the next stage, next level, and then apply what we done took from these conversations and apply it to our daily lives. That's one of the things I want to say. Thank y'all for, seeing Wizzo for even having me aboard. And then for the people that want to follow, I have a podcast. It's the PM Lifestyle Podcast on YouTube. You can join me there. Send me an invite, whatever the case may be. I get you on. And I just want to thank Wizzo for having me on too, man. I'm looking forward to getting that hat so I can wear the hat on the show from now on too. Man.
Oh, I need a PM
I saw that.
lifestyle. I
just
got a
didn't respond
whiz.
too early, but yeah.
I need a PM lifestyle hat.
I'm working on some shirts, man. I just did the street graduate shirts, just for people that didn't got to the level that we didn't got to right now. So Wizzo got his coming in the mail.
Yeah.
I'm putting a lot of stuff together. So yeah, I definitely have some merch just real soon. I'm just actually pressing everything up, man. So just bear
No,
with me. I have it
no,
Good
developed.
looking up.
no doubt, no doubt. And PM, I put yours in the mail the other day, and I hadn't been in a barbershop in so long, so I don't know if they have the little uh, uh, boards, whatever the fuck you call them, to put. But I put something in there and put on the clip, not on the clipboard, but on your what y'all call that shit in the barbershop where you put business cards,
I
all that
know what
shit.
you're
I don't
saying,
know.
like
You know what
business
I'm saying?
cards and
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
advertisements
that.
and
I
stuff
put
like
some
that.
off in
Yeah, I
there
know
for you
exactly what
to.
you're talking
board,
about.
the cork
Yeah,
board.
yeah,
I got
yeah.
a section at
I
the
put
shop.
something in there for you to do to put on there, and we're gonna come over here to Poke right quick. But Poke, check your messenger because I asked you for your address. So
I saw it.
okay,
It's when I saw it, it was time to come on. That's
okay,
all.
okay. So I got you. But let's go come over there to you with some closing comments.
So, again, always a pleasure. As steel sharpens steel, I love the dialogue. I love the discourse. Seven, we're gonna have to make sure that you have your baby next to you because you have points. It's just sometimes
Yeah,
you want to sensationalize it, and people miss the intelligence that you're portraying. Like when you're talking about the struggle and sacrifice, it almost makes me feel like you've read some Nietzsche before, the way you talk about it. So
I read Nietzsche.
yeah, you see it. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Seven, the way you talk, it I feel like you do know what you're talking about. It is just the way your message comes across. It will not be portrayed properly because all they heard was bitches and hoes. Fuck that shit. You know. Yeah, that's all it. But again, especially like I said, like it sounds like you've read Nietzsche before to me. So baby alert might just help out just so people can know that you are sane. Just FYI. Just FYI. P, I always love having you on. I've been on this shit. I don't know how long I've been knowing Pete, but for a long time, I always been a brother. Love having it. Jason, it's gonna be one day, man. We're gonna have to go. I want to go. Yeah, for real. It's gonna be one day I want to go. And Rico, you know, I don't know what it is, but you haven't been as how do I say it,
Yeah.
fiery
Yeah.
as you used to be lately.
Yeah.
That baby.
I get like that when we talk about them people. That's the only
Okay,
time I
is
get
that
like
what it
that.
is? It's just the
That's
people.
all it is.
Okay, all right.
Man, that
Okay,
hey,
I
make my blood pressure go up.
I voted for Trump 7 times.
Uh
No,
oh.
You just got hit with the handgun.
Yeah,
Right.
damn sure did, didn't he?
Right. You fired him, man. You
all right,
fired him up then.
I'm done. I love it here. It's great times. BIGPOKDOGG all day.
Already. And I'm gonna tell you what, you didn't hurt my goddamn neck looking at your ass.
Hey,
Fix that
hey,
shit.
Wizzo. Hey, before
Yeah.
we go, Seven. I got some text messages from some women when we was talking about our first topic earlier. They say they would never take advice from a baboon asshole.
They probably they probably would take no advice from him, but they'll probably let him go and run that dick up in him. But but I gotta come to I'm gonna get ready to come to Rico. But Poke, before I go to Rico, I got one thing I got to ask you.
Yes, sir.
Now I know damn well that your ass gonna cry.
Oh hell no. No, we established that from the beginning. Look, you got two good reasons to cry as a man.
What's that?
One is you have lost something that cannot be replaced. That's one. You have lost something that cannot be replaced. If your mother passes away, that is a legitimate reason to cry because you will never ever be able to replace that.
Okay.
Right.
The second reason is because you fucked around
Mm-mm.
and let somebody kick you in the nuts.
That's it.
That is it. It is because you have lost something that cannot be replaced. Because if it can be replaced, as a upstanding man, that is your next goal, is to get it replaced. But if it can't be replaced, that might be the only thing that you can do to make that better is to cry. I can see that.
God damn.
And then again, if somebody sneak you get kicked in the nuts, you have my permission to cry.
Goddamn. Well, shit. All righty then. Now we know when to cry. Rico, what you got on the closing comments?
Hey man, it's always been a pleasure hanging out with you fellas, and nice to meet you, Mike. My closing statement goes like this: a person is who they have always been. Don't judge them based off of any one moment that they may have in your life. Judge them off the past and the things that they have always shown you to be.
Mic drop. For sure.
You don't need to do
Perfect.
no goddamn thing else.
Yeah,
Shit.
it's perfect.
All right, that's what's up. All right. Come on up here to Jason with that yet.
Oh, I'm good, man. You know, I enjoyed it. Y'all said you was gonna bring the spice today, and you did. You almost lost me during them politic talks, but you know me, I can go anywhere. But
Yeah.
I also like to, you know, because I like to read and philosophize with some of you brothers. So when Pope brought me back home when he had his question, and I want to point out for him because he's a humble dude. I know y'all might think otherwise. He's a very, very humble dude. But my guy Seven still not one time did he get to get his point. And you started with that, and we never went back to it.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, we definitely get to going, y'all. You know what? You got anything else before I say something, Jason?
I appreciate that.
Okay.
To be
And you know, guys, and somebody's typing. I'll see here in just a second. And it is always a pleasure to have each and every one of you guys on. You know, we never know where the conversation gonna go. Usually, I try to ask beforehand who all have something to say. It may come up to them later, so that'll kind of dictate the time or
Oh,
how much time we spend on one thing. But then sometimes, shit, we get to going on one topic and shit. You know, we off in there for an hour before we ever switch gears because then there's another comment, then there's another comment. There's another comment on that, and you know, I kind of like to keep it to keep the conversation going and not really kind of stop it.
Right.
I asked a couple of things in there, and it didn't get all the way answered, but you know, I wasn't tripping. Because we still had some good conversation rolling and going on, and but each and every one of you guys, I appreciate it. Mike, you know, I'll see you again soon, and you know, we're chopping on up. You know, your wife, she's she's cool as a fan with me. And I see you out all the time. And whenever I do step out that way, and Jason PM, Pokey, 7, Rico, it's all good. Rico over in Hawaii. What time is it in Hawaii, Rico?
Man, 3:50.
Damn.
Look, it's still
AM or
looking
PM?
outside.
Still bright.
Oh,
Still
Yeah.
bright.
yeah.
Future.
Yeah. Hey, but I'll talk after you close it out.
Okay. And before that, guys, hey, it's been a pleasure. Each and every one of y'all. Just remember, those of you watching now or catch it later, it's free to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate your support.